We live.
Yes, we are live.
I messed up last time when I did the intro. I was like, ooh.
I know. Still
Oh,
trying to figure it out.
we gotta start it. I was like, I gotta start it early next time. I was like, oh, that's my face. Oh, there I am.
I didn't even think about the countdown, and I thought I had the banner shown at the bottom on my live yesterday, and I realized after the fact, no, I didn't the whole time. But
Yeah. It's like you
we
make
are.
all these banners and stuff and you forget to use them. That's
I
I'm
know.
always like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Forgot to hit show. I'm like, I am just not tech savvy at all. Terrible.
It's a lot of moving parts.
It is. So we
It's
come
a
to
lot
edit.
of
It's
moving
like we got to
parts.
edit, do the intro, do this and that. Like it's too much. But we here, we made it. It worked. So I was glad
Yeah.
to test it out. So Sunday for the baby boy live, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I remember to do these things before I hit go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got my so over it shirt on because I think we were
I
as
got
a
my
whole.
pajamas on.
Listen, these I can wear these as pajamas too.
I
I
got my
think as a whole, we're all over the season.
I was like, just in case my son come turn the air on, I got my robe handy. I got my coffee because I was like, they putting me to sleep.
I know, and I was not surprised by the outcome or any decisions that were made on this finale, but we just gonna get into it anyway. Hey, Miss Mermaid. Glad you were able to catch the live. Next week looks like it should be good, so we'll see what's going on with that because Tequila will be back. So,
Jackie T with her feathers.
yeah, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I'm trying to give it a little minute, let some people join the room. If Dia joined and give him a chance to get on, hopefully he'll be able to make it.
Yeah,
But
the struggle's real.
and then just
The
for everyone
struggle
who's
is
popping
real.
in, or if y'all catching the replay, Belle isn't able to make it because she's down in Houston. She's going to see Beyonce. So that's way more important and more interested in what's going on with Ready to Love. But at least she's down there having some fun for us. And she will be back next week. And I'll
Next
be
week, yeah.
listening to my
More
Renaissance
excitement
album.
there.
Yeah, I can't wait to see some pictures and see what that final outfit was like.
Yes, because she was
And
giving the Sheen the thumbs down.
find out
Oh,
how Houston did with the mute challenge. Because I know everybody been struggling with that mute
right?
challenge. But it should be good. And
Mm-mm.
I think I saw JB went there as well. So everybody turning out for Houston.
And Niecy, I think Niecy too.
Yeah,
Niecy
and I think
Dixon.
she got tickets for her birthday to go. So I'm like, everybody
Oh,
now I feel like I should have flown down to Houston and went. I needed to take a little trip. Or just
you
go
want
to
to be
Houston.
in Beyonce's area.
Right. I'm like, that's her hometown, so I know she gonna put on a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need to hear about that when she comes back next week.
Mm-hmm. Fill us all in.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and get started. Um,
Okay.
we got Miss Kara Speaks. Me, I'm Shayna underscore. Everybody says McD, so we'll go with McD. Because I was like saying MCD, but I think it's easier so we'll just go with that. But Kara, you got anything going on? Anything you want to mention before we get started?
Lord knows I forgot last time. This week I think I definitely gonna get up probably a live movie review and the first 5 episodes of The Other Black Girl. Now I'm debating on Love is Blind to do a live recap of the first 4 episodes. I watched the first one and most of the second one, and I'm trying to feel it out. If I do it, it'll be more of a discussion than like an in-depth kind of thing. So that's all for this week. And then next week I have a watch list and a Saturday sip coming up.
Saturday sip should be fun. The Saturday sips are always fun, you guys. So if you can try to join over on Miss Kara Speaks channel because it's a good
Not
time.
this Saturday, next Saturday.
Yeah.
Not this Saturday, next Saturday, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, looking forward to that next week. So even though I'm not drinking right now, I'm trying to do healthy eating and cutting out alcohol and all that stuff. So we'll see how long I last with that. I just sip some water.
There you go. There you go. Like I said, I got coffee tonight to keep me.
Right. I need some. I've been struggling all week, not drinking any coffee, just drinking tea. It's not doing it. It's not hitting for me. Hey, Monique. Driving and listening. Well, if you didn't watch it yet, we'll tell you. We'll give you all the details. So don't worry. We got them down. It's not that much, but we'll give you what we got. We're going to give y'all our best.
Yes. Yes. Did you watch? Now, I was going to watch it, and I was like, I don't even care that much. Chris 1.0, Chris did a Dear Wifey podcast with his sister talking about arranged marriage. I started to watch it. I was like, I don't have the energy for this. I don't have the energy for Chris.
I watched some of the interview. It was supposed to be his interview on Crystal XO's channel, so that was enough for me. That was crazy. So
yeah, I have to go watch that one.
You know, I do like the Dear, what is it, Dear Future Wifey podcast?
Yeah,
I do like the podcast, but they be having some toxic people on there, and I just I got to be in the mood to even listen to that.
Exactly.
Like he's off the show, so all this going on these apology tours or whatever this is supposed to be, like, sir, your time is up. Just move on.
Yeah, I don't even think he got into the show, but I was just like, I told you that's what he needs. It's an arranged marriage. I don't know why he came on here trying to do something different when you have traditional views, but.
And he had a child, and I'm wondering what happened with the child's mother.
That's why I was gonna watch, because they were talking about, I listened to like the first 5 minutes, that there was some girl that she's married now, but that the parents had picked for him to marry very early on. I was like, I'm like, I wonder if that's the one he has a kid with, but I was like, I can't. It was him and the sister talking. I'm like, I can't do an hour. I can't do an hour of this.
And why do we need to see the sister? Like, why was she there?
I was wondering if that was the wife, because they had the same last name, and I was like, oh, that's his sister. But I guess to talk about their upbringing and everything, but I was like,
I wonder if she has his last name. I'm assuming she's not married. I was wondering if she like did the arranged marriage. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe, but I'm kind of over him. Oh, wait a minute. Monique said you will learn nothing.
Okay.
Interviews. Save your time.
Well, I didn't think he discussed Ready to Love. I figured it was just only about the arranged marriage thing, but
yeah, because all I wanted to know is why he allegedly flipped a chair, and he didn't touch on that. He didn't touch on that in the interview, so I feel like, all right, well, we'll never get answers.
Nope. He's not willing to tell.
Miss Mermaid said, I saw the dear wifey and cut it off. Like he's one of those guys that acts like a nice guy and then turns up behind closed doors. Yep. Yeah, we picked up what he was putting down early on Ready to Love. So I don't think going on that show was the best bet for him.
No. Hey, Mama Mac.
Hey, Mama Mac. For me, I didn't even just to let y'all know, so y'all don't forget, over here on my channel Sunday, I'll be doing a live review for the movie Baby Boy. So we're doing a throwback Struggle Love movie review. So we had a lot of fun last night on the live. We stayed up late. I didn't think we were going to be on there. I
was in my bed like
every time I was about to end it, I'm like, somebody's saying something else or somebody else got on. So well, we had a good time. That was a fun time. So we're going to do it again on Sunday when we talk about that crazy movie.
And congratulations again on your 1,000.
Thank you. Milestones. Now, we just need y'all to watch these videos all the way through. Okay. We got to get y'all to watch these videos. So that helps us a lot. Just let it play. Let it play quiet. You only got to just let it play while you cleaning or something.
There you go.
Let it play while you're in the car. Just let it play. But okay. So we can go ahead and jump into this episode. So we start off, everyone's meeting for the usual finale brunch. I know that you haven't watched before, so they always do this brunch at the finale every season.
Okay.
And everyone seems undecided still. Then he's still concerned about Janelle's age. Aries is still concerned about Phil's stability. And Maria still has two connections all the way at the very end. So who in this moment did you think would actually end up together?
I honestly thought it was only going to be Janelle and Q, because he seems so committed to just making it to the end. Everybody else, I was like, I didn't think that they were gonna make it. But
I thought in this moment, Aries would choose herself because she brought up stability again. I thought Maria would choose Jessica and they would go off together, and Janelle and Q. Now, by the time we get to the reunion, I'm sure none of these people will be together, but we shall see. So then we have the meeting, the family meetings. It's time the men are meeting the ladies' family. So we, of course, meet another cousin because I think it's only cousins allowed, like cousins and cousins only. So Quentin said that he wants 3 children, and Janelle said it's a hard pass. She's willing to do him a solid, she said, and give him a child, like 1.5, and a dog, but 3 is out of the question. And the one that she wants to adopt. So yeah, he ain't getting that. So her cousin, it was a male cousin. I didn't catch their name and none of the family members' names, but it was a male cousin. And he was like, well, hold on, because Q said that he wants 3 children. And he was like, you want 3 little people running around? Like, that's a lot of people. Like, wait a minute. So clearly they are just not a match. They are unequally yoked. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Now, what were your thoughts
on? Yeah, 3. I have 3. 3. I have 3. 3 is a lot. You know, first, second, by the time you get to the third, it's like, oof, yeah. So, like I said, they just seem just committed to just choosing each other in the end. I don't think it made any practical sense because he wants from his loins, she wants to adopt. He wants 3. She wants none really, but 1 adopted. So I was just like,
yeah. Okay. That's the same thing I was thinking. I'm like, why are we going further? Like, besides, yeah, just win the game, just to say I walk to the end. I feel like they're good to just have fun with each other, and that's it. That's all. Like this, when it comes to this children thing, if either one of them decided to bend on what they really want, like they're gonna resent the other person. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't make sense.
Yep. And the cousin was like, when he said his age, the cousin was like, I said, oh gosh.
I was like, wait a minute. At her age, you want what? No, not happening. Miss Mermaid said they get paid per episode. These couples ain't coupling. No. It's clear that it's like y'all are doing it. It has to be, you would have thought they was winning a cash prize at the end. So I don't know. That just, because every single date was just like, what, why? In real life, would y'all really have continued dating? Absolutely not. So we get to Kat, her cousin. I don't know if her cousin was like, just, if that's how she always is, or she was being a little extra, like putting 20 on 10. she was giving it to Maria. So her cousin Kat said her previous relationship that she played stepmama, and the cousin was like, no, we're not doing kids. Like, we're not doing that. Like, then she was like, you're too cute to be a stepmom. And I'm like, what does that even mean? What? That was get her off the show, because she gonna mess up Kat's future. Kat gonna have a hard time. Like, she can meet somebody who doesn't have children, but the older she gets, the fewer options she'll have as far as that.
Yeah.
So, plus she says she don't mind. So I'm like, cousin, hush.
I liked her cousin though. She was a piece of work, but I was like, she remind me of, I think, is it Robiny Lee? That's who she remind me of a little in the face. But I was like, at least she's addressing and saying the things that need to be said instead of like, skirting around the issue, because she addressed that and the moving thing, I think.
Yeah, she addressed that and the child's mother. So I'll go ahead and get there. Yeah. Maria got there. He said that he wanted a dual citizenship to Sierra Leone. And, she wasn't having it because she was like, moving where? Like, she can visit. So we already know, like, she like, no, on that. And Kat seemed like she would do like 6 months on, 6 months off. Kat never said like, I will move there full time. So for them to act like, oh, we both want to move, like, Kat, you don't want to live there full time. And it seems like he wants to live there all year.
She just said she wants to travel. She said she wants to travel.
Yeah. Oh, but when he first brought it up, when he gave her them stones, she said she would do 6 months on, 6 months off, I thought.
Oh, okay. I forgot. He threw me with the whole stones and
she, like, they mentioned it and it was like, oh, we're thinking alike. Like, no, you ain't. Y'all are not on the same page. The time is, I feel like she might have said I might live there half the year just to appease him, but it's like, girl, you don't want to live there like that.
In a whole nother country. Okay.
I mean, you want to just have a house there, but you don't want to stay there. Now, Maria said that he'll have his son full time when he turns 12. And I'm like, yeah, right. We'll see when the child turns 12. I doubt it. Because these men will be like, I'll take these kids when they get older and don't. But he said that he and his ex co-parent well. They do everything for their son together, doctor's appointments, all his things, activities are always doing that together as a unit. So the cousin was like, so it's like y'all are together, like y'all are a couple. And he was like, no, it's not. But I got tripped up on the ages because I thought when the cousin sat down, Kat said that the boy was 10. And I thought she was 7. So I'm like, and then he said we've been broken up for 7 years. I'm like, didn't he say they broke up like the first year of the child's life? Like, how old is this child?
Maybe he's 8. I don't know.
Is he? Because if
he's just gonna guess.
And like, wait a minute,
he must be like 8. I thought she said maybe she said 10 and he's like 8 because people don't have kids. Sometimes they just be in a roundabout area. So maybe the kid is 8 and she said 10.
Yeah, because I thought I heard him mention something about 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, and then he's supposed to get the child when he turns 12. What year is that supposed to be?
Yeah.
Math was not math.
Probably 8. Because I think, he said something about 7 years ago. And he did say when they first broke up. So,
yeah.
We'll just go and guess.
Right. I guess Kat felt like, what do I need to remember his age? Like, why don't I remember his age? It doesn't matter.
Mm-mm.
But because that's like really close. If he was 10, it's like, oh, in 2 years, I'm going to have him full time. Like, wait a minute. I'm still trying to get acclimated to this relationship. And then we're taking on the child full time. That's a lot.
And then that's the other thing I was thinking of. Like, how is that child's mom going to let him, even though that's the dad, take him out of the country permanently full time at the age of 12? I was like,
I don't believe that. I don't.
Okay. He gonna be visiting too. Just
right.
like that.
Right. Child probably don't even got a passport, and we talking about anyway. Yeah, right. But we'll see what happens. Maybe he will, but I don't know if I believe it. Maybe he wants that, but I'm like, if y'all already do everything together, why would you remove the boy from the States, uplift him, and take him to a whole other country? Now you're not going to be doing anything with his mom, so it makes more sense for you to stay and try to do everything.
Crossing boundaries, but that's what true like joint parenting is, which is why I didn't want to do it. Like, if you have a true joint, everything really is like the time is 50-50, the decisions are 50-50. You got to consult with them for everything. So I was like, I know it seems like, hopefully he ain't doing nothing funny. I know it seems like, but I'm like, that's what you're supposed to do if you're truly doing a joint. Most people don't do a true joint.
No, they don't.
The primary parent and then
they say it's but dad's getting a child every other weekend and that's it. Yeah. But the cousin was just like, wait a minute, y'all too close for comfort. And I'm like, I guess we're just not accustomed to seeing healthy co-parenting because, like you said, that is what healthy co-parenting is. You should be able to do things with the child and it not be an issue. But the cousin was like, I don't like that.
Yeah. Only because men can't get funny and they'll tell you one thing and they'll be doing something else and having a whole nother relationship. And especially since she said whatever she said on or didn't say on Instagram,
Right.
There's that.
Ever since the baby mama came out and said that he's lying, I feel like I can't trust nothing he's saying because she never said what he lied about. So I feel like everything might be a lie. I can't trust nothing. Monique says it's like $350 an episode. They act like $350. Like it's $300, $3,500. How they fight to stay on? Yeah, they getting $3,500 to stay on per episode. Plus, it might be the contract. Like, okay, well, I have to fight to stay on here per contract.
Yeah,
with them acting, but
I thought it was more than that too.
Yeah. Well, for earlier seasons, the people said they weren't even feeding them. So I'm sure that's way more than the people were getting early on.
Yeah.
But the cousin told Margay to stand up because she like, wait a minute, you look a little short. Everybody on our family is tall. Like, how are you going to fit in? I said, okay, team tall.
Mm-hmm.
But Margay handled it well. But after he left, the cousin wasn't feeling him. She didn't like that dual citizenship. She didn't like the baby mama drama, even though he said there's no drama. She don't like the fact that he got a baby mama. She doesn't like him.
She didn't like anything he had to say. Nothing
about him. I feel like he handled it well, but no.
He did the best he could.
Yeah. And plus, he didn't really you know, he wasn't really on that either.
He's slick talking a little bit with his. Was that when he had on that red and white Colonel Sanders shirt? I can't. One
No,
of them.
that was later with
Oh,
Jessica.
okay. I was like, what is this shirt?
We'll get there. But then we had Aries. Finally, we see somebody other than some cousins. We see her mother and her sister.
Yeah.
So I said, pretty ladies, her mama look good. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, mama. So Phil gets there, and of course, we talking about his financial mishaps because that's an issue. And they asked him like how his views on decision making. And he said he would consult with Aries and run everything by her. I didn't really see anything wrong with that.
I didn't either.
Her confessional said that was a bad answer.
I think that's based upon how you run your household, how you live your life. Like I know you haven't been watching The Love Experiment, but the last episode, the guy kind of stuck his foot in his mouth and was like, "Oh, my dad ran the household, and then my mom." And she was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah." And we start to get into that whole super traditional Christian views, and it was just like, so I think maybe they may still be playing into that because collaboration is kind of more how it should be,
right.
But they seem to have a problem. So I said they must be hella traditional.
Yeah, that's what it was given. I feel like people pick and choose when they
Yeah.
feel like throwing it in. And then it's like they take it out of context, like with the Jeannie Mai and Jeezy thing, when Jeannie Mai was saying how submissive she is. And it's like y'all are forgetting that it says you're supposed to submit to each other. She's supposed to submit to the husband, and the husband's also supposed to submit to the wife. Not just I submit to the husband and that's it. Like it's a dictatorship. That's what it sounded like they wanted. Like, oh, well, he's supposed to lead, so he's supposed to dictate everything. Like
it's like jack of all trades when they leave off the empire. Right.
The
empire. It's the same thing. Like be submissive. That they cut out the
you missed the whole message is just chopped and screwed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he should be consulting with her. If he's a leader, and ultimately he might make the best decision that he feels is best for the family or whatever. But he should be discussing it with her. But they just don't like him. They ain't like him before he even walked through the door. So
no, I feel like just set that little ball up there for them to knock it. He got there, they were like, "Yeah, so
you ain't stand a chance." I'm like,
yeah, they already know. They're like, "Are you employed?"
Right. And I ain't saying one of the best. I'm like, man, I don't see no rings on nobody's fingers here. What? I'm just help me to understand.
And they're like, how much does being a comedian pay? And I'm like, creative stuff is tricky. As long as he's got, which it doesn't seem like he has, is the issue. As long as he has a stable, full-time job doing something else while you're doing your creative, so you can get you where you want to be, then fine. But I think that's the whole.
And like we're on the finale, and you're saying that now all of a sudden you were saying I thought Sassy Red was a comedian. Now we find out Phil too is on Def Comedy Jam. Like, wait a minute, when did you start doing stand-up comedy? And so I'm just now getting back into it. Like, so you haven't even been doing it long.
And he doesn't have much of a personality, so I can't imagine he'd be very funny. And she said he was funny. I'm like, y'all are leaving a lot on the cutting room floor because everybody said he is very giving wheat toast with nothing on top. So I'm like,
no. And even she said, she's like, because my sense of humor, and I like, what? Quiet, nice, kind, sure. Y'all like laughing and got tears coming out of your eyes, and I'm slapping my knees. It's just so funny. I can't see it. I don't think that it's given any of that. Like all we saw him doing was rubbing feet. I didn't hear none of these comedians crack one joke. I don't know. I don't see it. And when they say it's not lucrative, like, why don't you just tell us what you do for a living? Because what do you do? Where do you work? But they also had an issue when it came back to religion, because he was like, they were like, look, we're Christians. And he said that he believes in God, but he practiced Buddhism. But he was like, I don't mind. I prayed on our first date. And they were like, well, pray right now. And Mama's talking about, because we like our men to lead. I said, oh, it's over for him now. When she made that comment.
Lead the table in prayer.
Yeah, he ended up praying. And then it was like, y'all still don't see it for him. So whatever.
He said that, and he was right. He was like, if I pray, if I don't, he's like, no matter what I do, it's gonna be wrong. I'm like, yeah, the minute you walked in the door, it was not looking good for you at all. I was like,
he probably should have just canceled and said he couldn't make it.
I mean, kudos to him for, being a stand-up guy and doing what he needed to do. If you're gonna see it all the way through the end, you might as well take the licks.
I agree. It's hard. I feel like it's hard for men because they they get it bad when it's time to meet the real family. See, that's why everybody
Yeah.
got their cousin in them and they distant friend play cousin.
Softball.
Your
With the
mama
softball questions.
play. And the mama is not gonna let up. She had her foot on
Mm-mm.
the neck. And the sister even said after he left, when they was like, "We don't like him," and then the sister was like, "Would your dad like him?" And I was like,
I
"Hmm."
said, ouch.
I know. And then she didn't answer, like, well, would he? Like, I
That
don't know.
that was the answer.
True that. But I'm like, okay, if we got off the fight, if he was like, I'm financially stable, it's like we didn't get to know anything else about him. Like,
He's
what?
not, because he won't just say it. Like you say, he won't just say it. He won't say what he does. He, like, we've been through episodes. He won't just give us a clear picture when he was with her family, when he was with his family. His family didn't speak up on his behalf. It's like,
Yeah. Even with the friends, like with her friends, it's like, oh, I'm like I know I heard somewhere he was a claims adjuster, or maybe I just wanted to believe.
yeah, no, that's what he said. He got like 16 different jobs now all of a sudden. Everybody got like 6 different jobs.
Right. And the mama was like, "You too old to be changing career paths and suddenly wanting to be Bernie Mac on stage and Kings of Comedy. Like, what is this?" Now I feel like you can change career
Yeah.
paths at any age. So, you might have been doing the
Just keep
same job for 20 years and you're like, you know what, this is not it anymore. But
mm,
do your comedy on the side though. You need a 9 to 5. Like, do that as a hobby until it starts picking up. We can't just be doing that full time.
exactly. Got your main job and your side hustle. That's it.
Yeah, you got to figure out a way. He only got one son who sounds a little older, so it's like, all right, you should have a little more time when he's with his mother to work on your hobby. In the meantime, you need to be punching the clock because Aries has bills and they need to get
Mama Max, he ain't got no job.
right. It's like, oh, that reminded me of that episode of Martin when Martin was like, I dropped you off at your job that one time. Or no, Tom was like, you dropped me off. And he was like, yeah, that dark building, it was all black. He's like, where do you work? He's like, across the street at that building that's all white. Like, whatever building that is, all white, no windows, no sign, no nothing. But we move on. We got Jessica. Kat just had to have been there to give us an extra scene because goodness. We had Jessica, and of course, we're meeting, y'all gonna guess it, her cousin. So, because who else? And I'm like, is this a close cousin or a distant cousin? Then that's when Mario showed up dressed like he worked at an ice cream shop or the bowling alley. I'm like, you definitely look like you about to serve us some ice cream. What do you have on? But the cousin asked how he feels about Jess being a boss. And Marie was like, well, I mean, it's fine with me because I'm a boss too. And it's like, wait a minute. Like, what? A boss of what? So Marie said that he
No
wants to
idea.
open another restaurant by the end of the year. And I'm like, so the restaurant, if you don't have a restaurant open, what are you a boss of? What are you doing right now? Like, put him in the field category.
That's why I said they all have like 6 different jobs. Because they give you like the one job, and then all of a sudden they do all these other different things. It's like, where did that come from?
Right. Because it's like, oh, you want to open a restaurant. You want to have a floor manager and be running it and be a boss of it. It don't sound like anything's open at the moment. Where are you getting the funds to fund this? I don't know. These men, especially because Janelle did that live where she started outing people and saying half the men didn't have no jobs. It's like, now I'm looking at everybody like, like, does anybody have one? Or is that why they fighting, about to arm people to get these checks? They got to stay to the end. They need these coins for this long days of work. They're going on these dates. They're getting these free meals. They're getting paid. But I don't know. I don't know who's the dasher, but somebody dashing for sure. But I mean, he claimed he don't mind. We'll see, because Jessica said her coffee is in the stores. You can buy it. Okay. He also said Mario said he wanted to get married in the next 2 to 3 years. And I thought he told Sierra's friend like he wants to be engaged and, ready to plan the wedding within like the next year. So I'm like, the timing is off of him. Again, I don't know how old his son is, when he actually wants to get married. Like, what's going on?
He don't know either.
Right. He tells whatever he wants to whoever wants to hear it. Like, the timing is always wrong, it's always off.
Like a chameleon.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm like, after he said that, he left, and the cousin didn't mind him and his ice cream man Sue. She was like, "Look, I can see y'all together," and I'm like, "Really? I can see them, at the bridge, but I can't see them together in real life. I can't see that."
It's given manufactured. Like you put together just strictly for the purpose of the show. I don't even think they have chemistry like that, but
no, definitely giving friendship at best.
Exactly, at best. And she done wrote him off too. You wrote him off first about the whole crystal spirituality thing, then you wrote him off again. Now all of a sudden,
right? Hey, Portia. Yeah, I thought she told him at the house at the getaway, like, "Look, we go our separate ways. Like, it's over with." Now all of a sudden,
that night she was like, "We cool."
Yeah, like we are locked in. Like he's not going nowhere. Like, wait a minute. Now he joking and kikiing with the cousin. I mean, this cousin seemed to be way more accepting of him, but no, I don't know. I don't see it.
Mm-mm.
So we finally, this went back quick. See this didn't really give much. That's how I'm hoping the reunion gives something. But we finally get to see who walks away to the theme song, who's going to meet at the open field or on the bridge or near the trees. So first we start off with Phil and Aries. And it looked like they was low-key matching a little bit. I said, okay, I see red in his shirt. She got on her sequins.
Mm-hmm.
Phil got Aries a special gift, a heartfelt gift. Not only did he give her the usual flowers, but he got her a baseball with a heart stitched on it in honor of her father. I guess he thought he was going to win her over with that. Like, oh, well, how can I say no to him after he did this? And I got to tell him no behind the scenes. But he did
aggravated me with that because, I mean, it would have been a better gesture if you didn't say what you said at the end of the other episodes. So I was tight with him over that. I was like,
yeah. But I mean, how did you expect for him to react? Like, how did you expect? Okay, so I just finished.
Honest. He's like, you blaming it on her grief, and she's talking about y'all are partners in grief. So it's like, why are you being?
I thought that they, I thought they trauma bonded over that, and then it was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and then he was like, "That don't got nothing to do with me." Wait, what?
It was like in her face, it's like, oh yeah, let me console you with your father. And behind her back, it's like, she called me broke. Must be because of her father. Like, what?
Exactly.
She said, I knew it was over when she walked up. Mm-hmm. I knew it was over at the brunch. And then when Mama and them showed up, I said, that's a nail in the coffin. But she was like, look, thank you. But I got to put me first. Okay. I choose me. And she was like, she said she needs a man she can respect. And I was like, that's when it got ugly. Like, not you don't respect him. Oh my goodness. So, and he was like, when she said that, like, yeah, pick yourself.
Mm-hmm. But at least he didn't get all crisp with us on it like that. You know, he just took it and kept it cute.
What else can you say in that moment though? Like,
I know they will say, well, look, Kristen need to say everything he said in that moment when he was about to throw the wine or the water or flip the table or whatever he called himself about to do in that serious thing.
That's what I think. Phil is actually a nice guy, and where Chris just he pretends to be a nice guy. That's just his representative.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had some potential, but she said she's not gonna settle. Like, look, I know what I want, and if I don't get it, and I got to be alone with cats, then that's what it's gonna be. I don't blame her. Like, listen, because if you're not gonna be satisfied settling, it never pays to settle. There's no point in doing it. You're gonna be so unhappy. Like, I'd rather just say, look, I stood firm in what I wanted, rather than just.
When she didn't have the mom and the sister on the team. Like when you don't have the family on the team, and they already got doubts. It's like, where do you go from there? So,
Right. And then I feel for her with raising sons, it's like you have a certain example of what you would want in your son's life, what you would want your son to look up to. So if he's not financially stable, I don't need you coming in my life and in my household teaching my sons that it's okay to mooch off of them. Not saying that that's what he's doing, because we really don't know. But we don't want no homosexuals coming in and then you just like, oh, teaching my sons like it's okay to be letting a woman pull the load. Like,
Absolutely not.
and she got divorced twice, so we know she ain't afraid to walk away. Like, she gonna know when to say when.
Yep, everybody got to take care of themselves.
Okay. And I mean, in the midst of a recession, if she's able to handle everything by herself, there's no need to have him in the picture if he's not adding value.
Yeah, I'm taking care of a whole nother person.
I kind of thought that he too would be like, look, you keep coming at me and exposing me for not having no job. I'm picking me too. I was surprised that he did that. But he's the only one that got a thoughtful gift. So I guess the other people are like, look, I already feel secure with my so-called connection. I don't need to get a gift. But we shall see. So next we got Marie. And they didn't leave much of a surprise. We knew that was Jessica walking up when they showed her legs. So I'm like, okay, Jessica meets him at the bridge. I hate the flowers that he got for her. Like, you can't get.
What was it, the white?
I can't see what they. It look like plants that should be, like in a house somewhere, but not like.
Not in a bouquet.
Yeah, it's not a bouquet that you give like at this moment. I didn't think those fly. I don't know. I just didn't like it. It's like we don't like what he's wearing. We don't like his flowers. Like, oh, Marie. Nothing exciting here. They chose each other.
I was surprised you chose him.
I wasn't. It could only be like one person. Well, that's why I keep forgetting you haven't watched the other seasons. Even like before, there was never nobody. Like early on, everybody always like picked somebody. But then more recently, like season, it would be like one person would be like, I choose. So I guess we can't have everybody choosing themselves.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, Joseph.
Hey.
Good to see you in the chat. But yeah, so I'm like, all right, well, Aries already picked herself. So Jessica, you're going to have to tell everybody at the reunion that y'all ain't together. Tell them there.
Took it on the chin for the team.
Right. Because I'm like, it's clearly giving friendship. The way they embraced, it looked like I don't know, it was giving church hug to me.
Well,
yeah, it looked like two cousins hugging. Like, it was just no chemistry, no passion.
Zero chemistry.
No, definitely not kids. But these cast members keep going on these interviews, and I've seen some people saying, like, they said Jessica likes, thicker guys, like, so he's her type. And I'm like, if he's her, men might not be the physical. Like, we didn't say physically he wasn't her type. We said he bust out with that witchcraft that she don't like. In her words, she didn't like that. And he wants to move to Africa. So, and she wants a family, and he don't know if he want a family or not. So that's enough right there. We don't gotta even mention the physical.
Exactly. Let's just start there. So,
like that's
good. I guess we'll see on the reunion or part one.
Right, part one of the reunion. Good thing. Hopefully they'll come out first. Which I think they will. They gotta have I feel like they gotta have couples, or at least a couple talking first.
Yeah.
So we have Quentin and Janelle. And Quentin claims he's more concerned with having his person than having kids. And he says that in this moment, but do I believe it? Not really. Definitely not.
Stunts and shows.
The last 2 episodes, he kept mentioning her age. And I'm like, you knew how old she was the whole time. Like, why do you keep bringing this up?
Her age and the kids is like the new thing, like something changed. Like, this has been the same thing for all the rest of the episodes. And now here you come, but
right,
you're still gonna choose Auntie.
Right. And it's like, oh, when she was younger. And for me, I feel like if she got to this age without kids, I think that she just never really cared about having a bunch of kids in the first place. So even if he met her younger, they happen to be the same age. If she was his age, I still don't think she would want 3 kids.
Yeah, she probably just would want the same thing, to adopt the one, and that's it.
Right. Maybe he might have convinced her to have one, and she probably would have resented him for it later on when it didn't work. because he don't like her attitude. Like he tried to, she tried to check her, whatever he called himself trying to do at the getaway. He was unsuccessful. So, but still, they chose each other. And then they kissed. And Janelle was like, it feels good to finally kiss. And I'm like, they kept kissing. And I'm like, the streets was saying that it looked like they've been kissing. So, and maybe that's why he chose her, because they've been, he said that, I think he said at the getaway or last week that they had a physical connection. So it's like, well, what are y'all doing physically if y'all aren't kissing? Holding hands? What are we doing?
Let me fix my face, I guess. Ugh.
Right. So you definitely gotta hide your facial expressions now. Miss Mermaid said, I hate that they filmed a reunion before the season ended. Me too. I know they had to have it like at least close. They did it like after the first 3 episodes. Like y'all should have waited at least until it got close to
the so like, you can see everything out, see what you missed.
We wouldn't have had all these lives and all these interviews had the reunion I've been filmed like 100 months ago. Like they should have filmed it. Maybe they filmed it last week, just in time for this. Like I know they got
even last month, like something a little bit closer.
I feel like after that episode with Jessica and Chris 1.0, like they could have filmed it after that.
Yeah,
but they shouldn't. They shouldn't have did it the way they did it. They definitely been doing more than kissing before the trip, during the trip, after the trip.
And that's the only thing I can't stand about social media now. Like I like social media, it's great, but it's just like it spoils because everybody like, why are y'all allowed to talk about it? Don't let them talk about it because you kind of spoil it a little bit. Like I want to be at least a little bit surprised.
And they're the only show that does that. Like I feel like back in the day with reality shows, like when Flavor of Love was out, like we was excited, waiting for the reunion to find out what happened. Nobody was able to talk. Now, even like with Married at First Sight and stuff, they can't even have their social media public until it's over. Like they have to keep their pages private. They can't post anything. You can't say anything.
That makes sense.
Why every season These Ready to Love people are always going on interviews? It's like the season. Y'all still are on the show, at least if you're already eliminated. Like if Sassy Red did an interview, he's been eliminated for weeks, so who cares? Tequila did an interview, so it don't matter. You're not on there anymore.
Right.
Like people that are still on the show are talking.
Janelle.
She might have been the only one that didn't do an actual interview, and then she's the one that I guess she said, "I'm gonna do it myself on my live."
Same thing. She's like, I'm gonna ask myself the questions. Let's say what I want to say.
Hey, because you're not gonna ask me if I think somebody is broken, don't got no job. So I'm gonna just come out and tell y'all these men don't work. They live with their girlfriends. Miss Mermaid said, right, that's why he kept her around. Lee probably kept her cookie jar closed. After he ghosted Lee, I'd keep my cookie jar closed too. Lee did the right thing. Even Lee was going on interviews talking about he really wasn't her type. Like, why do we need to know that right now when you still on the show? She did go. Janelle did go on that rant for hours. And I think she was on there so long that she had got cut off. Like, girl.
Yeah, it's only it was on Instagram. I think you only got like a certain amount of time.
Yeah, but people they caught it quick and then brought it over to the YouTube, so she can never undo it because now it's out there. Like, you think it's going away on your Instagram, but it's on YouTube forever.
Somebody got it.
Y'all let us know in the comments what y'all thought about this episode and what y'all think is going to happen on the reunion. Because for me, when they showed that clip of Jessica and Mariah, and they were like, she said, we're still getting to know each other. And then Kat was behind the stage talking about, oh, they so fake. And I'm like, what happened? Like, did he tell Kat he was going to meet her at the bridge? Like, why is she saying that? And that was another thing with that interview, that messy one with Chris 1.0 and Mariah. It was his interview. Mariah jumped on. He was on there the whole time. I'm like, whose interview is it? But all the other cast members were in the chat commenting. So I'm like, even when y'all aren't interviewing, y'all are making comments. Y'all are just letting us know. Erin in the chat, she was like, my connections are Kat and Lee. So I'm like, that already let me know that you're going to choose yourself. Can we watch first and find out?
Spoil all the fun.
Right. And
Not that they was giving us that much to begin
right.
with.
That's why I'm so over it. Because it's like,
And then I got worried because I was trying to watch it on the OWN app, but then I was taping on a DVR and I seen an hour and some change. I was like, what you mean an hour and some change? But it taped the other one you were talking about. I didn't even watch the whole thing.
oh,
That little sneak peek of the one that's coming next month.
Make a Move, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also,
I
did you watch
watched a few minutes of that. Huh?
I was wondering if you watched it, like what you thought about
I
that.
watched a few minutes. It was cute. It was cute enough.
Yeah. Because even one of the ones that was, I think she's from season 1, but I don't remember her too clearly. But some of the ladies they have on there, they were, I don't know, a little Janelle-like on their seasons. So I'm interested to see how they're going to do living in the house together. And the host, I'm like, what are her credentials? Like, why? Now, the people was telling me on that video I posted of the trailer that she was on Southern Charm. I never watched Southern Charm. But I'm like, Southern Charm isn't a show. So I'm like, well, what are her credentials?
Reality, right?
Yeah, like how is she able to give this advice? I don't know if I like the concept though. Like I'm gonna watch it anyway, but I don't probably review it. I don't know if I like the fact that it's like, well, we are coming down here to date and then you have to move. Like, why do they have to move? Like, why can't it be somebody decides to move? Because the man should be able to be like, look,
I'm trying to see.
Move.
You think it's gonna be an hour or half an hour? Probably an hour, right? I think that would be like it would have been like a good little 30 minutes, good little 10 episodes. I know it's a reality show, but
that was it. Do we have
dragged out? So I don't know what they're gonna give us. Huh?
Do we have many? I don't think we have too many like half-hour shows anymore.
No, especially not the dating ones. They be trying to drag them. That's why I don't watch like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette or any of them things like that.
And now that ABC done cut my Wonder Years off, I ain't supporting them.
Oh.
I'm still upset about that. Even with this one, it's like, so y'all gonna force Kat to bring her cousin on here just to drag this on for an hour. Why? Miss Mermaid said, wasn't one of the brownies, Mean Girls? Yeah, she was. I forgot. I think it started with a K. I had to pull their names. Can't even remember. Charisse was a mess on her season. Yes. So some of the ladies, they were definitely giving Mean Girl. Not to the point where they was ready to tussle like Janelle. I don't remember the one with the short blonde hair on the Make a Move show.
I think this is the first season.
Yeah. I don't remember. I might go back and watch that season. I just didn't like how they did that season. Like, even though it's kind of uneven like it is now, but it was like halfway through the season, all the men got eliminated first, and it was just 3 men left to pick whatever woman they wanted. And I'm like, whose idea? And they were like, it's uneven. There's more, because it was in Atlanta. So they was like, the women to men ratio is like this in Atlanta. So we're going to make it like this now. Like, the women to men ratio is like this in Atlanta. So don't have me going through this now. I'm already going through it in my regular day-to-day life in Atlanta.
Exactly. Like, that's why I came here, to get a little better pickings, and you're going to give me the same thing I got at home. Okay.
The next season they changed it, and I was like, I don't know why y'all ever thought that was a good idea in the first place. Because one of the guys, I think matter of fact, now I think about it, one of the guys picked him. He chose himself. I'm like, he was an actor. He didn't really want to be there. So the guy's been horrible from the start. The women that's like the trajectory of the show. Like, the women are always chasing the men on this show. I hate it. But the clip for the reunion, besides Tequila and her feathers looking like she was about to fight Janelle, talking about I'm from the streets, like, girl.
Do you want to fight Tacky T? Yes, she does. She told you that when she was on the show.
She had her hair pulled back. She's rich. She ain't got nothing to lose. She said, look, I got kicked off after episode 2. I got to make myself stand out. Y'all going to remember me. We never remember these people after they leave. But I'm like, not her trying to fight. And then Janelle jumping up to, like, let them fight. Give us some. Let them fight. So we got something.
They too. But
that's why I'm like, why was Tacky T shaking the table? Like, girl, you know all the security and stuff. Y'all ain't about to do nothing. Y'all ain't about to do nothing.
That's why, they like to pump fake, like.
Yeah. And then, like I was saying with them being in the comments on that live interview, Kat kept calling Mariah Messy Mariah, Messy Mariah. And I'm like, why does she keep calling him that? They need to forget him and Jessica because we know they ain't hitting on nothing. They need to bring Kat and Mariah to the stage so I can find out why she keeps calling him messy.
I'm sure they will. They got to give us something. Yeah,
they do. And they were supposed to be having a second season in Dallas. I'm like, where is that? Dallas don't need no more. They always do 2 seasons in the same city, and I don't know why. Like, please stop doing that. Just move on. It was bad the first time. It might be worse the second time.
Yeah, I don't know about I don't know about that formula.
Yeah, it is, and they always do it, and it's like they always doing it down south. Like, can we please move on? Go to the East Coast, the West Coast, up north. Go to Canada for all I care. Just get out of Texas. They already had Houston, Dallas. I guess because Houston was one of the better seasons, so it's like Dallas might give us the same thing. Dallas gave us nothing.
And then the spinoff is New Orleans, right?
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be having just a regular Ready to Love season there, so I'm wondering when that's going to air. Because that would be around the same time. But I mean, this gives us something different. I would have been curious to see like the same concept with nephew Tommy in the house, since it's like just to see if he had to spend more time because it's only 4 ladies. Like, let's see if he gives any actual advice for a change.
Yeah, now look, I'm a newbie. He don't got nothing to say.
Well, then again, he took 175 years to actually marry his wife, so I'm sure he don't, or I don't know. Monique said she saw somewhere that he was married to her and he was keeping it secret, but I read that he didn't marry her till like 2 years ago. So I'm like, you've been waiting for 30 years.
It's secret.
Yeah. And then
they were common law married and then they got actual married.
Yeah, it hadn't been common law. But when he was on the Harvey show, I mean, I remember when he first came on there telling jokes and then doing prank calls. I remember him saying he was married initially. So I'm like,
the side eye after that, he was in that Lifetime movie. Now I'm like,
what Lifetime movie?
It was one of the TD Jakes, The 7 Deadly Sins. I can't remember which one it was, but it was basically, I was like, is this Sweetie Pies? What are we doing here?
It must have been one of the ones I didn't watch. I think I watched the first 4.
I think it was the last one that they did. This year? I think it was
the beginning of this year. I didn't watch them.
Child, he was a whole mess. I was like,
because I'm like, since when did nephew Tommy become an actor?
I said, Tim, is that you? This sweet, I'm giving the whole thing away. Is this Sweetie Pies? What are we doing here? I said,
yeah, well, tell us so just in case I might want to go watch it. Because at first I was like, you know how I am. Too much time passed, I'll move on. But if it's actually worth watching, I might go back and watch it.
Look, if you could fast forward through it, it's a quick little watch. Quick little watch.
I thought when he first said he was doing that, I thought it was going to be like with the same people for all 7 Deadly Sins. So it was like, okay, it's going to be something different every time. I'm like,
yeah, different people. Because I think I only saw maybe like 4 of them. It's like Candy was on one, somebody else was on one. What's the name was on this one with him? Stephanie Mills was on the one with nephew Tommy. So which is why.
Yeah, I'd be curious. Carrie Hilson was on one. That one was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I watched like 3 or 4. I ain't watching them all. I have to Lifetime will play them again. When they play them again, I'll look and see which one I missed. Because I was like, I missed something.
I was so tired of Married at First Sight, I stopped watching Lifetime. I had to take a little break, so I don't even know what they got going on. But I don't know. That show's supposed to be coming back. Maybe I'll do that one. I don't know. That's why I'm like, Ready to Love is ending. What's coming back on? The writer's strike is still going on. So it's like, now I
heard something said that they might be near an agreement. I guess that was just a rumor.
It's been going on long enough. I know people need to get paid. They got families to feed. So I'm hoping so.
Did you watch any of Love is Blind yet?
That's what I was about to ask you. Not yet. I turned it on and I watched like the first. I watched like half of the first episode.
Okay.
'Cause I gotta go back. What? Did you watch it yet?
I watched the first episode and almost all. I think I missed the last 10 minutes of the second episode because I was like, oh, let me go watch for tonight. But
Yeah, because I was
that's
ready
what
to.
I said. I kind of wanna. I don't want to do a episode by episode. I'm like, maybe I could hop on a live and do the first 4 episodes, but just like a discussion, like very condensed. I was taking these notes and I was like, I was like, well, this person go. I can tell this person gonna end up with this person, and this person gonna end up with this person. So I'm like, maybe I'll just. I gotta get enough people to come in the room down to talk about it, but.
Yes, y'all, please, if y'all can join the room because the lives are fun over there on Miss Kara Speaks channel.
Thank you. And then they were that intro this season. I was like, oh, you're gonna give us a little tidbit of the drama at the beginning.
Oh yeah, you know,
When they were talking, I was like, since when they do this?
they got it to just try to trick us because last season them pods they was falling asleep in the pods and I was falling asleep watching.
That's why I was laughing. And I don't know who's in the second episode. One of the couples was like, I said, oh, it's Brett and Tiffany. One of the couples was like, she was like, oh, you yawned, you gotta do some push-ups or some sit-ups or something. He's like, I did. So he got up and it was both. I said, oh, Brett, well, Brett, Brett and Tiffany, y'all be falling asleep in them damn pies. I was like, oh my God. But,
then I looked and I didn't see too many. The issue that a lot of people have with Love Is Blind or those Netflix dating shows is we don't see enough melanated women. And once again, all we did was see them sitting around like extras. We didn't see them hardly going on no dates.
we gonna get one couple.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get that one that was talking with those twists and the pies, but I don't think she's gonna end up being on like the actual couple.
We gonna see. And then that's the other thing about Netflix. I watched the first episode. I went and did something, and I came back, and then you see all these little previews. I'm like, y'all giving stuff away. I ain't even watched the other 2, 3, 4 episodes, and I'm like, okay, so she got a wedding dress on. I'm like, unless I don't think that they're savvy enough to have people try on wedding dresses that's not making it to the end. So I was like, okay. Then I was like, let me not look. Like I want to figure it out on my own, but
yeah. But now I feel like we watched it so much, we know the formula, just like we're Ready to Love. And this is your first season watching Ready to Love, and you picked up on the formula right away. So it's like we already know what to expect. That's why
they need to like shake these shows up. Like we were saying that before. Like after the first initial season where you get fresh and people who are actually interested in relationships and being on the shows, like you gotta shake it up. We gotta figure out something because everybody comes on there just for like, social media clout to promote their business or whatever they come on there for. But it's like,
yeah, I mean, this is a new day. Our attention spans are short. You got to keep us. This ain't back in the day where Granny was watching General Hospital and Days of Our Lives, and it can be the same people acting for 100 years. Like these reality shows, it's like after the first couple seasons, like y'all told us everything that we need to know. Even these dating shows, it's like new people every season, but it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, they're gonna have to change the formula or something. That's why I kind of a little bit like last season of Love Is Blind, and I was gonna recap it. I just never got time because at least they got a little messy with it, and like this one went over here, and then this one came back, and I was like, oh, we doing that now? Doing that now, and at least it gave you,
Because when that couple that did that, when she got with her fiance or so-called, it felt forced. So it was like, all right, are y'all forcing it just to set up the drama? Like it just, I don't know. It didn't feel authentic. Versus the first season when Lauren and Cameron were together, and it's like, okay, this feels authentic and genuine.
Exactly.
That's why we want to support Ready to Love because I think that I can remember, Ready to Love is the only like Black dating show. So it's like it's the only one with this age group. It's the only one people like to see people in the house and stuff. That's fine, but I like to see people like living regular lives and then they're supposed to be dating. That's why I wish we could see them actually just doing more dates. Like
yeah, it's more practical.
Yeah, like we seen them at the house and stuff. I don't want to see that. I want to see y'all out dating. But it's like the same.
They cut all the good parts out. We didn't get no texts, no phone calls, no dates. No, I was like, just all of a sudden, you all magically have these connections. And then I was like, are they just all taking turns at dating each other and then trying to see where the chips fall? Because I was like, when Janelle said something about Chris, I'm like, I didn't even know y'all had a connection at all. So I'm like, they must have just all just kind of commingled at some point. And then was like, okay, you
Hard
and
to
you.
believe that everybody had all these connections. Like, I just can't. I don't know. Because every time
Because Marie being the one that with 2 connections at the end, I was like,
and then,
really?
we talk all the time, everybody. We talk all day and night. We fall asleep on the phone. But then y'all don't even know these basic questions. Like, you don't know. You didn't know that Janelle was adopted until now. And it's like, y'all been supposedly talking for how long? So,
Wait, you want 3 kids? Oh, wait, what?
right. You're 42. Like, what?
The
What
whole
are you
time.
talking about? Like,
The
what?
whole time I've been here, I've been the same age.
What are y'all talking about?
I don't know.
Definitely made no sense. It's just, I don't know. I want this one because everybody keeps saying the numbers aren't good. They think it might be getting canceled. All our shows get canceled, and so I don't want it to get canceled. I really don't. Yeah, I like Nephew Tommy as a host, but they gotta. I think that they should keep all the people till the end so they can make a real decision, not a numbers game. Not I'm just trying to stay on the show. Everybody just stay. I know they want to pay all these people, but they're gonna have to up the budget a little bit and keep the people.
They gotta figure out something.
Right, we on season like 340. Like at this point, y'all can spend a little more on the budget and keep these people to the end so it's not so rushed. But I don't know. They don't think they're gonna change. They like how it is. That's what and then they doing spin-offs. Like y'all need to get the first show right before you get a spin-off.
Exactly. Can we get this formula together? Can we revamp this one before we do something else? But
because how many of these spin-offs, how many seasons are we gonna have of Make a Move? If it gets the regular Ready Love gets canceled, we ain't gonna have nobody else to pull from previous seasons to put in this house.
well, if you had nine seasons, you got people to pull, but still, it's just
if they all single and ready to go on the show, because some of them went off and got married other people.
Oh, okay, yeah. Child.
Even in the preview, they had I forgot the one guy that was like into all that kinky stuff, talking to Unique, and then Tommy was like, "Oh, but did y'all talk anymore afterwards?" And it's like we already know that he has a girlfriend now. Like,
yeah, see, I haven't paid attention to none of these people. I don't even know that.
See, I was scrolling on my timeline, and then it's a page I don't even follow, like posted that he has a girlfriend, a picture of him and his girlfriend. So I'm like, social media gonna tell us. So I'm like, he already walking around with he shouldn't even be allowed to walk around with his girlfriend in public until after the reunion airs. So now we already
know. Brett and Tiffany, when they released all those pictures, like we couldn't do, but now that everything's out, we could, release our pictures. And I was like,
yeah. Even when Lauren, but that was, with the panorama going on. But they were like, yeah, we actually been married for like a year now. Y'all just now seeing the show. And we celebrating our anniversary. But it's like, yeah, I don't want to wait that long. But it seems like they filmed the show like not too long ago. So it's like, you don't have to keep your relationship a secret that long. The show's airing just long enough to leave us in suspense because you're cheating us out of it. Now, like spoilers and stuff usually don't ruin it for me. I'll still watch it.
Me too.
I don't care about spoilers.
I won't seek them out, but if I stumble upon one, I'll still watch it. Not like, oh man.
This is something I really want to know. Like I'm at the edge of my seat. Like, oh my gosh! Like if it was really good, I was like, who is Maria gonna pick? Like,
that's what I was saying about Love Is Blind. Like I said, when I paused it and then I came back to start episode 2, and then little things are playing. I'm like, why are they? Oh my! Let me just start the episode. Why y'all showing me all of this? Okay.
They don't see, and I feel like we the people been having these same complaints.
Yeah, because I feel like Tate's Take was saying the same thing, but when he said it, I hadn't like caught it. But this time, because I was home and I was watching it on my TV and whatever, as opposed to watching it on my break at work and just binging and going through. I was like, oh yeah, y'all do be spoiling it with these little clips and stuff. So
right, yeah, because then they do the same thing with We're Ready to Love when we were trying to figure out like, ooh, who was Chris talking to? Was he cussing out Janelle? And then gonna post a picture showing Jessica sitting there like, what? Well, for all that, y'all could have just showed her at the end of the episode for the preview.
Yeah.
There's nothing to worry about, nothing to wonder about, nothing to get excited for. Like,
yeah, and I think I saw that scrolling through like X, Twitter. I was like, because I swore it was Janelle only because Janelle had that energy, and I couldn't see like why he would talk like that to Jessica. But
and we still don't know. It's still maybe we'll find out on the reunion. But Tommy doesn't seem to really like when it comes to the men, in my opinion, this is my opinion. I don't think he really like sticks it to the men. Like he really holds their feet to the fire. Like I feel like Chris will get some fluff and he'll be like, okay, well, moving on. Like, no, we need to get
He's a man.
yeah.
He's a man. He's not holding them accountable. And that's why I think sometimes for some of these shows, same thing like as Love is Blind, they just need like a different host or somebody that's, not a fan, or they could ask the right questions and tell us what we need to know.
Somebody that's biased. We want a Cameron and Lauren on there. Matter of fact, maybe get a fan of the show that's like just a regular person, don't have a large platform or anything, nothing. And just have them like host it so they can ask the real questions. Kind of like when Nicki Minaj, even though that's Nicki Minaj, is different. But when she was just like, I'm a fan, when she did that, when she did the reunion for Real Housewives,
I didn't see that one.
Better than India.
And they were saying Cameron and Lauren for Love is Blind. I think that would be a good host for the reunions, because they probably would ask the questions. They probably would be diplomatic and still get the answers at the same time. And then they've been through the process. But
right.
It's Nick and Vanessa's show, which their show really is more the ultimatum, because that's like you're gonna have to 1,000 times. Like, oh, she gave him an ultimatum. Well, yeah, you were the second wife.
Right. I feel like the ultimatum, leave them there because that's their testimony. She gave them ultimatum and coerced them to marry her. Like, let them stay over there. We don't really need a host for the ultimatum, but because when it comes to reunions now, they don't. No, they could just go all together. I don't want to take nobody's check, but they need to go. But I don't know. I feel like Lauren and Cameron might be better as hosts, but I don't know. Maybe it's a catch-22 because it's like, all right, well, y'all already know, so you can't pull the wool over our eyes and you'd be like, oh, it's editing, it's the producers, they cut this out, they cut that out. They already know that. They've been on there already. But they might say like, okay, well, we know with editing and we know how it is, and then
I feel like you can get to the bottom of all that better than somebody else can, having been on the show. But
yeah. And I'm hoping, because Unique said that on Ready to Love that she was a producer, so I'm hoping that but since she's coming on there this time as one of the daters, I'm like, all right, maybe she'll have a little more insight since she said she was a producer. Even though Sassy Red said on his interview, he was like, her producer, like she's not no producer. He said that wasn't true. I said, here we go. The lady said she was. They showed her producing something, and she said that's what it is. That's what it is.
What do y'all do? Right. I believe the women more than the men. I think the men are the ones that are hiding what they are or aren't doing.
Right.
I feel like the women are a little more
providers and leaders. So it's like the men have more of a reason to lie. The men aren't saying they want the women to provide, even though it seems like they do.
And chase me, pursue me.
Right.
Or let me be the head of the household. Right. What?
Yeah. I told Sierra, like, when she said, I'm the catch. Like, if you don't that Tyler Perry done got y'all. But these men, they still up here listening to Kevin Samuels, so it's a lost cause. It's a lost cause.
Especially they don't like women. They don't like women.
How are you listening to Kevin Samuels? You listen to Kevin Samuels, who said Jeannie Mai was like the ideal woman. And look at her. Her husband had left her for 2 years. And y'all still say that? Samuels? Yeah, he said that she was a better woman. She's fit and fine and kid-free or something, he said. But he was up there talking about that's why Jeezy's with Jeannie Mai. Like, yeah, Jeezy don't want Jeannie Mai. So y'all still listening to this Kevin Samuels trying to throw him in our faces?
Child, they was trying to say Jeezy's a narcissist. I was there like, that's why he got all those kids' moms. I was like, when
you start thinking about it, feels like half the people in the world are. It's like, who's not? Every time I turn around, I'm like, all the people everybody that comes out, it's like, oh, you're a narcissist the whole time. You were loved by me. You was gaslighting me, a wolf in sheep's clothing.
I was going to see you on one end or the other. One end or the other. Either the giving or the receiving end.
Right. And then I feel like when you're in the receiving end, kind of like Drew with Ralph, it's like, did you start to pick up some of their traits?
You do.
Now she's starting to lie and gaslight, probably because she's been with him for so long. I mean, maybe she's always been a liar. We don't know, allegedly. I feel like she's already doing it because she's been with him so long. But
Probably. Yeah,
at
because
least,
you pick up those traits on how you deal with people, and the tactics that they use on you, you will turn around and definitely use them on others. So,
right. They need to be using it back on the person. Oh, wait a minute.
hey, girl.
Having the time of her life. Beyonce was yesterday. Victoria Monet today. Okay. Hey. No, I love that song that Victoria got right now. That put that on my mama. On my head.
My son just got concert tickets to go see somebody. I'm wondering if that's who he got the tickets for.
Everybody performing in Houston this weekend. Oh, I feel like I haven't been to it. Well, we were talking about
I
that
have
on the
to
live.
ask him.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to see a good little show. Well, you and I were talking about the Essence Festival, so that's something that's on my bucket
I've
list.
been wanting to go for years. Me and my best friend been talking about going before we even freaking had kids, and now it's like
Like fast forward, kid 1, kid 2, kid 3, like
kid
what?
3. Yep, I got 3. She got 2. I still want to go. I don't know how we have to figure this out, but I still want to go.
Especially when
And then we
girls.
had, that's what I want to do. And then we had the panorama, so wasn't doing nothing that time anyway. But
Yeah, they ain't taking long to bring it back though. And it's like you
no,
got to book it like a year in advance. Like you can't wait the last minute and be like, "Oh, we gonna go." You ain't gonna have no hotel room. Ain't gonna have nothing.
no, you know what it is. Yeah, like you said, you gotta plan it a year out. So it probably is not going to be next year. Probably not going to be next year.
Maybe in 2030, I'll be able to go.
Yeah.
Because after that Girls Trip movie came out, I feel like that's what really was just like, okay, now I was already wanting to go, but now I definitely want to go.
Exactly.
Because this movie's so good with this Essence Festival, it's making Tiffany Haddish seem like she's funny. So, I mean, we shall see.
Not Tiffany Haddish.
That's the only movie we like to turn in. It's because of that darn Essence Festival.
I ain't like her in that either. But I mean, out of everything, I mean, it's the best one she has.
She was pretty funny in that one. I'll give her that.
Okay. And then they put her in that doggone Madam CJ Walker thing. I was like, why do y'all have her in this?
Yeah, it's just
stop trying to make fetch happen. She is not funny.
no.
And then that wasn't calling for her to be funny anyway. So it was just like,
yeah. I feel like even in roles where she's trying to be serious, she tries to still be funny, and it's like, no, we don't want to see you doing that. And wasn't she just at the VMAs? I saw online somewhere she was chasing behind Shakira, like the lady is going through a life crisis, and we up here throwing her in movies when we need to be finding out if she's okay. Why is she chasing behind that lady like that?
Yeah, I heard. I didn't watch the VMAs.
Oh, no, I didn't watch it. I think that happened behind the scenes. I hope.
Okay.
We had enough of people shaking their tail on the red carpet and chasing behind that woman like that. Like, please, I'm so embarrassed for us. Like, what's going on?
I just went on the app and was watching the performances. I was like, this is all I need right here.
I didn't even watch that yet. Everybody was talking about the fashions. I'm like, whatever. I don't care about that. Yeah, the performances is the only good part of any of these.
I was like, okay, Diddy. Who else? Okay, watch that one. Okay.
Did you listen to Diddy's new album? Are you gonna listen to Diddy's new album? Because I didn't even know he had a new album, and everybody's like, "That album is good. It's good." I'm like, I don't know if I can support it. Miss Mermaid, you never saw Girls Trip? Girls Trip is a good movie. You should see it. And they were supposed to have a second one, but I think Tiffany and her mess done got it canceled.
I was gonna say, where's Monique? Monique and her she didn't see this, she didn't see that. She was in here earlier.
Monique, I miss all the movies, Monique.
Mm-hmm. That's my son, and when he went to go to HBCU, I'm like, sir, I don't think he's gonna go anymore. He finished community college, he's gonna go someplace else. But I was like, you got to get up on your Black movies. Like, he watched like Martin and Different World and all of that. So I was like, okay, good. But I'm like, you ain't never seen none of these Black movies.
That's why he should go. Because I feel like once he goes and he's around his people, he's in the environment.
Listen, they'll either clown you. You ain't seen, you can't quote Friday or Boys in the Hood or any of those things. What?
See, but the difference is that I don't know, because then they, they're kind of young. So maybe there's some other ones because of the age that haven't seen it. So he might be okay. But I feel like it still help him with his getting his black card together, because they probably gonna be like, okay, you ain't seen it. And then they might pull it more for him.
I need my kids to get it together, because I was up on my brother's stuff. He's older than me. I was up on my parents' stuff. I'm like, and the older stuff was so much better. But these kids, I'm like, y'all stuff sucks. Why don't you know ours? What are you listening to?
They don't realize how bad it is. And even with the music, I'm like, everything that's coming out, y'all done sampled. I mean, of course, samples have always been a thing, but it's like everything is sample. Everything's a reboot. There's nothing original anyway. Y'all just taking it and ruining it. So you might as well watch the original. The only reboot that I watch that I like is Bel-Air. And because it's like a completely different show. And for that reason, it should just have a different name. Like, it shouldn't even be Bel-Air. It should be its own thing.
Really, look, they took the Fresh Prince part off.
Yeah.
I gotta finish season 2. I recapped season 1, and then I started watching season 2. Like the first 2 episodes, I was supposed to recap, and then I don't even remember. Was it The Best Man? Something else I started watching. I was watching like 16 different shows at the same time. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, it's too many storylines to remember. But I feel like with Bel-Air, the second season was like,
take a break.
It started off slow. It took a while to pick up, but I still think it was deserving of a third season. Because everybody wants it to be funny, like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But I'm like, this is a drama, so it's not gonna.
It's not funny.
Like it got good at the end. So especially with Carlton and his.
I gotta go back and watch it.
Yeah,
I gotta go back and watch it. I watched season 1 and I was loving season 1, and then season 2, I was like, okay, I've got too much stuff to watch.
If it's like a full Black family on there, I feel like I just had to watch it just because, just off the strength. Like, I have to watch it.
Yeah.
A while though. I didn't watch the first season for a while. Like, it took me a minute to see it. But when I watched the second season, like, came on, so I'm like, perfect. So I'm able to watch it all the way through.
Yeah, sometimes that binge is everything.
Hopefully,
I'm watching the doggone Changeling now, and I'm like, do I just wait till the last couple episodes and just binge the last like 2 or 3?
Yeah, I kind of like how Netflix does some of their shows, where it's like, okay, give me a couple and not all of it, because then when it's all of it, then I feel overwhelmed. Like, ooh, this is too much.
Like with the other Black girl, I'm like, what? Because it was funny, because I was complaining about the Changeling doing, because Apple did the 3 and then the 1-1-1-1, and I was like, oh, I want to binge. And then when Hulu dropped the other Black girl 10, I'm like, why y'all drop all 10 of these? Why y'all drop all 10 of these episodes at the same time? I'm like, I know what I just said, but
we as people are never satisfied.
Like, make up your mind, girl. And it was only like 30 minutes each. So
the other Black girl, them previews I saw looked a little scary. I don't do scary. I don't do the scary.
It's supposed to be ish. The Changeling is more scary than the other Black girl. Although I watched the 5. I have to recap. I watched the first 5. I haven't watched this.
Even like that other one. What was that one that came on Prime? Swarm. I think it was about the beehives and started like going down this dark road. I'm like, what is this? Turn it off. Like,
I Swarm. I was gonna that was another thing I was gonna recap. I'm like,
you should have, because I didn't see many people doing it, so I think we might still probably could. I
have stuff on a list for throwback stuff. So I'm like, if I ever need a throwback list, I'll go back and pick something from the list. Just do it.
It just started getting a little. I'm like, where are we going with this? Like, I was like, I can't take it no more. I had to turn it off. This is like people either loved it or hated it. Like, there was no in between.
Yeah, I liked it. It was cool. It was cool. I like Prime Video and Apple TV. I think they have good programming. Like, most people, don't give it the fair shake, but I'm like, that stuff is pretty good.
I don't, honestly. I don't even know why I got Prime. Only thing I'm watching.
Shipping, probably.
Yeah. I only had it back on for Harlem.
Oh, okay. I got it I think right before the panorama. Luckily with the, because you get the shit, your free shipping was why I got it, and then you get the with that. So I was like, oh, let me watch it. It's free. Let me watch what's on there.
Yeah. Now I think about
There's
that.
good stuff on there. You should go watch stuff on there.
Cut it off now that we talking about it, because why am I there? I don't be like, I'm not most people that order from Amazon all the time. So I feel like I just use the free shipping they offer. I still get it in like 2 days. So I'm like, I'll just get it for that. And I got this Prime Video I don't even watch. If Harlem comes back when it's supposed to with this writer strike.
It probably won't be till next year sometime.
Oh yeah, I don't think they're gonna.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, I feel like once we get into the new year, I feel like they're gonna have to come to some kind of conclusion with this strike.
I don't want to go to Christmas like this.
Yeah, I would love to do more.
Feel bad for people's, families and their paychecks and stuff. Like, y'all playing with these people's livelihoods. But I see they said the streaming subscriptions are down. So I'm like,
right, that's saying something. And they got to be
like, what these people, you gonna get two pennies for whatever? Like, what?
I don't know why people are even still. Everybody should come together and stop watching Netflix. Now that I think about it, since they didn't mess up the sharing. I'm like, so they haven't called on to me yet. Knock on wood. But I'm like, if they start charging me extra for sharing my password, I'm letting them go. Love is Blind. I'm gonna just have to watch the reviews.
It's just me and my kids. That's why when my son goes away to college, it's only us. So we all on the same household. But I told him, I was like, when you go away to college, you can't take it. I'm like, you can't get nobody my password. You have to get your own account.
Oh. Not you doing your son like that.
Huh?
Yeah, I share, with my parents. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to have to cut it off for them because they watch it. So
I mean, if he's gonna just use it himself, but these kids, we're not about to go to school and be they ain't paying for it.
Everybody. So if he's at school, I feel like if they don't catch on, he might be able to get away as long as he's not sharing it with anyone else.
That's what I mean. If you don't share it with nobody else, be fine.
Yeah, but they might get off. I seen some TikTok where somebody went away to college and they weren't sharing, but it was just like, we noticed that you're not in your normal household, so they cut it off. And I'm like, this is getting ridiculous. Like, now you lost another subscription.
Do it on his phone, put a VPN, something.
Right. Portia, you bring in any scripted shows before April? I was thinking February. Because I feel like a lot of shows come out around that time. So hopefully by February.
Well, they said we're getting BMF in March. Raising Kanan, supposedly, I thought they said December. Rap-ish, they pushed back from August to November. Look, fingers crossed. I don't know what else, but they keep telling us we getting stuff, so I don't know.
I see. HBO Max had left they dropped a lot of their shows that I used to watch, so I was surprised they kept Rap-ish. Maybe because of the relationship they have with Issa.
Yeah, because she got a couple shows on Max. So
she
probably didn't want to jeopardize that relationship. She needs what?
When we were talking about Insecure yesterday, I'm like, they need to give Molly from Insecure a spinoff. That's what they need to do.
They're not going to do that. They'll never do nothing we want them to do. They're not going to do that.
Where is the petition so I can sign? Because give us something.
Look, it's the same thing like we said with the doggone girlfriend petition. Girlfriend's petition, how they just messed it up with the last strike, and everybody been begging for a Girlfriends movie ever since, which part of me is like yes and part of me is like no because of the whole Sex and the City thing. So it's like
every time when they do actually bring it back, I always think about The Game. When The Game came back, even though it was like on another network, like every time it just comes back, it's just never what we think it's gonna be. It's not the same. Like, just let it go.
I don't know. I guess sometimes they feel like you have to change it.
I don't know. I guess they want to make it more for like modern day, where we in our mind want them to just pick up where they left off. And it's like, no, we want to jump all the way till today and change the storylines. Like, that's not what we wanted. We didn't ask for that. Or if you're gonna jump in, if they gave Miley a spinoff and they wanted to jump into like current day with her being married, like, okay, well, what's going on with her marriage? And does she have new friends at work? Because she was working at the new law firm with the black people versus her old law firm. So how's that going? Like, does she have kids? Like, there's ways they could do it, but I'm like, they just won't do it.
No, they over us. They was like, here you go.
Right. Instead, we gotta sit here and watch Love is Blind again.
I was like,
yeah, matter of fact, I'm about to just go finish it now. I'm thinking, I don't know if I should do like review for every 4 episodes or wait till the whole season's over and just do the
that's
whole.
why I want to do a live for every couple of like every couple of episodes. But like I said, I just want it to be a discussion. I don't want it to be too like point by point because I get like so crazy with the taking notes, and it's not. So far, these first 2 episodes is not that serious. So.
Right. I feel like it's not really until they meet each other and they go on the. It's not.
Which is like I think episode 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's
when it's like.
Then when they get into the shared space and meet each other's families and stuff, like that's when it starts to kind of pick up. Hopefully, fingers crossed. That's something like me. Yeah, every time when they drop their episodes each Friday, then it's like just do those episodes like Tate does instead of just because that's just a lot. When they're not even, like you said, they're not talking about nothing.
And he gets his nice and concise too. He'd be like, "Boop." I'm like, how he get it so perfectly streamlined?
Yeah. See, that's why they give him the episodes early because he know what to do. Portia said BET messed up the game. They messed up everything. BET messes up. If you put it on BET, you might as well just cut it off. Just end the whole series altogether. They mess up everything. Maybe I'm a little jilted about them canceling Rebel, Bigger, and Contempt. I didn't watch any of those shows. Clearly, I was missing out. Only show I watched on BET now is Sisters. Hey, Brave. Hey, y'all know I got to shout out a content creator when I see one. Brave, her channel is growing. She is doing reviews right now. She's doing Toya and Reginae show. She does Ready to Love. Yeah, go ahead and check out Brave. She really good point of view. She has great feedback on her reviews. So, which I'm like the Toya and Reginae show. I don't know. I heard it was good, but I was like, what are they talking about? So now that I'm hearing it's good, I'm gonna go and watch it. You watched it?
Mm-hmm.
You watch it? You watching everything?
I watch a lot, but I don't because I be watching stuff, and then people are like, "Oh, you watching the show?" I'd be like, "No." Are you watching that? No.
You got all this content out here that you can go ahead and give us the.
It's notes and getting the doggone thing done because, like I said, I'll be in my head. It's too many notes, and then it's like stuff going on. We're putting the content out, so it's like I'll be watching all this stuff. But I think it's good. It gets a little bit into the relationship with her husband, but it's really to like the family dynamic because you remember the mom. I think the mom was on drugs. You got the mom, you got the sister, you got the brother that's been to jail. You got Reginae and her boyfriend. So it's same, but it's different.
I did like Tiny and Toya.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess it's because it's.
I always watch one episode and be like, I'll pass.
Maybe because it's just Toya, and then I just can't believe Reginae is like a grown woman now. Like you said, her being like a little girl.
She got some sense too.
Yeah, I do kind of want to see her husband because last time we seen her getting married to somebody else. So it's like, let's see you with your current husband.
That man just be sitting there like,
whatever you want to do, whatever you say.
Like if I got to get up and grab her, I'll get up and grab her. But I'm gonna just sit here and let y'all, because there's like a lot of family drama. So
yeah, that does sound like it could be a good formula, something different than what we normally watching.
Exactly.
Portia said they were good. Bigger is on BET Plus. I don't got BET Plus. That's why all the good shows on BET Plus. It's like a cross between Insecure and Living Single. Oh, now that sounds like something I will watch.
I have to go look. I got the cheapest one because now they have one with commercials on BET Plus. That's the one I got. But I'm about to start canceling some of these things.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, why am I paying for Prime? Like, let me go back and cancel that because I ain't ordered nothing off Amazon in weeks. Reginae started off good, but now starting to fizzle out because they don't have
season finale.
Yeah, next season. Didn't it just come on? What, they got 5 episodes?
I think so, because I think I watched 4.
Sheesh.
Okay.
They might. I wonder if they'll get another season if the season finale is coming on that fast. Because then I hate when I do like a show and it's good and then it gets canceled. Because I was like, now I'm all invested. I found something I like and it's canceled.
I just feel like it was just giving us a little something different with the family drama. Like, you're talking about her business, you're talking about her boyfriend, you're talking about, the mom, that crazy brother of hers, which I think that's the only brother that she still has living. So,
That's a shame.
and he's a hothead. So,
Probably
yeah,
trauma.
I liked it. I only watched the first 4, but we only get 5 or 6 up. Okay.
Yeah, it's like by the time you start getting into it, it's over. That's a short season. I see people talking about it. I'm like, maybe it'll be good, but it's over already. Sheesh. That's what I was trying to figure out on the live yesterday. Like, what other shows? Like, I need some suggestions because what's even on? What's even out here?
That House of Villains is coming, but I don't know about recapping it.
Yeah, that looks like it'll be good. Only because Tiffany Pollard is on there, and I love some New York.
New York.
Even though she looking a little different, that's not the New York I remember. But I still I still love Tiffany nonetheless. I feel like just for that alone, like the other villains, I don't even care about. They could just put her in there with anybody.
No, yeah, because I feel like what's her name is gonna what is that lady's name? Miss Trump.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Omarosa.
Rosa.
Yeah, I feel like she's gonna leave like Stacey Dash did on College Hill. I feel like she's gonna come in to like try and make herself look a little bit better, the same thing, and then be gone by like episode 2. That's my thought. I could be wrong.
I'd much rather see her than see Dash, to be honest.
They both can go, but yeah.
Yeah. Ms. Murray said, I don't want to watch Potomac when it comes back, so I got to start branching out. So you're not going to watch it? See, I was going to review it, but I don't want to watch it.
You could just go watch your. That's it.
Right, watching the review, you got the details there. Only because they had, I heard about that. They was fighting. The girls was fighting. I want to see what happened with that. They said this season of Potomac was supposed to be short. I'm like, y'all couldn't
watch Potomac in forever.
I didn't either. I wasn't even watching when Monique had the binder and all that. I wasn't even watching then. The only reason I started watching is because somebody asked me to review it. So I started doing it just for that.
Okay.
But
I think I'm up to like season 4, season 5.
I mean, you really could just pick up with this season. Like you ain't.
I back up last year, and then I was like, never.
Yeah, you only got to go back and look at nothing from before. You'll be able to pick up, especially with Robin and her husband. Oof, God. I just don't want to. If Mia is back, just messy. And yes, it's been downhill since the binder. Yeah, I don't know. Mia should have been at least Mia and Robin should have been. And well, you know they're not going to demote Giselle. Should have been demoted for the Sunset Pool. Robin hiding what's going on with her her marriage and her love life and her stuff with her husband. Mia wasn't even on there when you was last watching. Mia, another villain.
It was no Mia. It was no Wendy. None of those people.
Had a friend of Deborah. We're gonna call her and her eyebrows Deborah.
I was going to start seeing her looking like a Muppet on like a meme somewhere.
I'm like, why are we bringing her back? She wasn't even technically a friend of. Like, she was in like 2 episodes. And now all of a sudden she's back as a friend of. Like, y'all just letting any old body just come up on here.
Housewives of Atlanta.
Right. That's what it's
giving. I can't stand when they do that, though. Like, don't make the people go against the group.
Yeah. Y'all think Rasmus Shaw is just trying to force drama. Like, Candace was paying her dust. And they're going to bring her back just to try to get a reaction. That's the only thing I can think of. Brave said, I'll probably watch Potomac this season as long as it's better than Housewives of Atlanta's past season. I don't know. It might be about the same. It might be neck and neck because I feel like they like try to show us how they always do these previews, and we're like, "Ooh, that looks good." And then we watch it, and it's like there might be something in the last episode. We was waiting for Drew and Ralph and that drama to come on. We thinking it's gonna be something. Nothing. Ralph's talking about I can't talk about it. My lawyer said, "Well, why are you here? Why are you sitting here? Get your things and go." But that's how they always get.
His peach.
Ralph, Peter, Peach, Holden Thomas. I'm like, they gonna just hoodwink us with the previews. But instead of bringing these friends up for the existing, just bring new people. Yes, and yes, that's what I'm waiting for.
Me too.
Married to Medicine. I don't know now because Phaedra gonna be on there. So now
I don't want her on there, but nobody asked me. It's too late.
Nobody wants her on. I don't want Miss Phaedra High Class Parks on there. She don't even look like herself anymore. And Married to Man might be good with Quad. I wonder if Quad is gonna address. Did y'all hear about her baby cousin passing away in a pool? She drowned in the pool. Yeah, I don't know who. I guess somebody was in her house. They were supposed to be watching a little girl, like 3, and the child drowned. And I don't know if they were still filming. I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's such a touchy subject. I wonder if they're gonna address it. If she just moved into the house, I would have to move. I would be traumatized. Like now, I gotta move. I can't stay here. I'll never want to get in that pool again.
Miss Murray, are you sleepy?
Don't worry, we sleepy too. We was up all night last night.
I know because I finished my coffee and I don't drink it. I know. But we gave you the best food we could. We're Ready to Love, and then we gave you some other pertinent conversation.
Y'all knew Ready to Love wasn't gonna be hitting on nothing. And we down two panelists, so we did. We
didn't expect that,
right? I know. I feel like had this been a reunion, it would have been better. But our predictions, we already knew what was gonna happen, and our predictions were right.
Yeah.
Like we knew what was gonna happen. It happened. I knew Aries was gonna choose herself.
As she should. As she should.
To be honest, I don't know why she moved out of the townhouse. I don't either. Because the townhouse was like a nice townhouse and it was just her.
Huge.
Yeah. I'm like, you gotta take an elevator to go up these floors. Like I'm moving in the townhouse with the whole family. What other cities do y'all think they should go to for Real Housewives? Let's see, because some of them I ain't even watched. Like I think they was in Dallas. I ain't watched that one. Salt Lake, I don't watch that one.
I think I watched like a couple episodes of OC. I used to watch New York back in the day. I used to watch Jersey back in the day, but the only one I really watch is Atlanta. And like I said, I watched like the first 4 or 5 seasons of Potomac. And I keep saying I'm gonna like go back. Oh, she meant Ready to Love, but
yeah, I was gonna say we can switch up the cities for Housewives too. Yeah, we can do it for all of them. For Ready to Love, I don't know. I want them to come.
You want some northern states?
Yeah, I want to come to Philly. I don't know. I'm sure there's people in New York. Go to Cali. Something else, something other than where they've been going. Like the places they've been going, New Orleans, I'm wondering how that's going to be. But now I'm like, let's see how make a move is determine if we really want to see what's going on in New Orleans.
Yeah. New York, Philly, they did. I think they did. You said they did DC already, right? DC.
Yeah, they did the DMV area. DC. That wasn't really. It wasn't really all that good. There might be better personalities in New York. To like make. I think the personalities on this season weren't like bad personalities. They just
boring.
Yeah, they just glad there was no chemistry. They didn't pick the right group of people to put together.
No, and if you're going to handpick it and manufacture it, at least do it properly. At least do it properly.
Yeah, I agree. A townhouse is I'm in a townhouse right now, so I feel like that's perfect. Like with kids, and it was quiet by herself. Like we know you got your nephew sometimes, because she said that he'd be going back with his mom some of the time. So I'm like, why do they just be getting these big old houses just for show?
Keep up with the Joneses, right? Just because you could.
He was born and raised in Southern California. You don't think LA would be a good city? Why? Because of the dating pool? I feel like the dating. I be hearing the same because people always be like, maybe I should move. Maybe I should move to have like a better dating experience. And I'm like, I hear the same complaints all over the country. Like, move where? Because it seems like the women are complaining no matter where you go. LA don't seem like it would be a good spot where people might want to settle down. Maybe it would because like it's so far afield. Yeah. So maybe like the people that are there that really want to, like really, really want to. Oh yeah, the dating pool. Or maybe they should switch back to resort style. Yeah, everybody liked the resort style. That was one thing I liked about Ready to Love at first that made it different for me because all the dating shows they're in a house.
Yeah.
Like that's the same old thing. So I feel like that made it different. They're just not doing well with the formula. Like good concept, but not
Oof, not bed hopping.
right. And it was better because they was showing because they had them cameras there all night. So it's like, okay, well, y'all thinking everybody's asleep, but we can see who's going from room to room and all that. So that did make it interesting. But I feel like showing
Like, what was that show that was just on it? It was Martha's Vineyard. I was like, ooh, not y'all with the night cams.
oh, I gave up on that one.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I don't know. It wasn't doing it for me.
Okay.
Especially that married couple, just I don't know. They just
Now, yeah, there was a lot.
doing it for me. And they weren't doing anything. They were always up in the house. They went out like once or twice. Like they just never were out having fun. I don't know. Now, so I've seen somebody.
D.
Actually, oh yeah, Netflix. Gee, Lord, I'm finally watching this episode, and Kat's cousin Monica was doing the most. She said, "I'm gonna do everything I can for these 5 minutes of fame."
And
yeah,
it
was. I gotta go back and read your message, D. I didn't read it yet. D watching the episode, he could jump on and tell us what you think about it before we get off. It's a great place to live and very expensive, but I don't know if it'll be enough entertainment. It's too many people putting on facades. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't be any different in Dallas.
I was going to say, I'm sure Atlanta, New York is just well, probably all the big cities is.
Yeah, they already did Atlanta.
Yeah, you said that.
They did. What they do? They did Houston. They did the DMV area twice, and then we got
Dallas.
So yeah, it's like they kind of down south and like move away from the south and go elsewhere. Come back to the south later after we go somewhere else. Go to the West Coast. Go to the East Coast. They did Florida.
They doing like like Mississippi and Alabama and all that. Like Bell Collective in Huntsville and all of that. Unless you're doing
people want to settle down. Yeah, they did Miami twice, and even Miami wasn't really giving what I thought it was going to give. But one of the ladies that was on Miami is going to be on that spinoff. So I would have thought Miami. I don't know, because it's like, but do people really want to? I feel like Miami is like the same thing what Portia's just saying about LA. Like, do people really want to settle down in Miami? Like, so clearly that was just for the drama.
Gotta be on the outskirts.
Yeah. If they would have went to Orlando, maybe I feel like that's more family friendly.
Yeah.
But
St. Petersburg, something.
Yeah.
No place but Miami.
Yeah. People on South Beach trying to party all night, and then you trying to have people going there for love. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, one of them. I guess the major city. Like you said, maybe we need to go to the smaller cities where people are more authentic, don't have nothing to prove. Like think about when Love and Marriage Huntsville first got on. Like who? Ain't nobody heard of no Huntsville. But then when we got there, they fashions was like years behind, but they was giving us real authentic drama. You would literally pass by the projects to see Range Rovers and Mercedes parked. Priorities are all out of whack. Yep. Especially now with thanks to Instagram and social media. I just seen a clip of somebody yelling, talking about, I'm Instagram famous. I'm famous on Instagram. Like, girl, and that means what in real life? Don't nobody care. We don't know you for like, so I'm like, that's a shame. what people will do to keep up. They've been keeping up trying to do that, keep up with the Joneses before social media, but social media
made everything worse.
Yeah. Before you could be okay being like a regular person and be fine. Now, they're acting like, oh, I live in this expensive condo with high rise ceilings and it's normal. Like, you out your mind paying all that money, just like we're quiet in that house. Like, why? Kiera, you like, you're getting a little sleepy. You giving me bell action right now.
No, it's answering this message.
I'm not on TikTok. I heard that made it worse too. Yeah, a lot of people say they like TikTok because, well, what obviously it's what's on your algorithm. That's what really does it. Whatever you like, how your algorithm looks. But on mine, people always be like, I like TikTok better than Instagram because people are more real and authentic over here, and they giving us the real versus Instagram, where it's like,
nah, D, I am not ready to love. We was just talking about that. Was that last night? Oh man, doing nobody's dating show.
But I was the only person on the live last night that said I would actually do it. Everybody else said no. I'm gonna need them to come to Northeast.
We support you. We support you in this decision.
Even if I just go to the mixer, like just to be like, okay, I even
go for it.
Do I think I would walk away with my husband? I don't think like how they was in the past. Like my wife's in there. I don't think I'm gonna get on Ready 11 and be like, oh, my husband is here in this mixer. But I'll do it just for fun.
Just not go for kicks.
Yeah, I mean they had Johnny Clifton that was on Love and Marriage DC. They was off there, so we had one. They had one couple that made it. I don't know. Because I liked Johnny Clifton at first on that show. Then by the time we got to the reunion, I couldn't stand them. So I definitely didn't care about them on Love and Marriage DC. And then Love and Marriage DC wasn't even interesting. So I didn't even watch it.
I like the second season better, even though there was no what's her face. Only because I like when they got into I can't even think of their name, but the couple with the son that's blind and like the therapy and that whole family dynamic, like that part of it I like, but the rest of the show was like, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's not just. I don't know. It was for
at least I felt like that was a little more like real, like we getting into real life issues that people have instead of this little foolishness that y'all got going on. But
and we don't see.
I don't even know how manufactured that was and if they're actually getting help because.
Right.
Social media.
Yeah. I feel like we don't really see many families with children with disabilities on TV. I don't think we've ever saw that. But somebody was saying like, oh well, y'all just got the son back for show. He was like staying away, like somewhere else, and then y'all brought him back for the show, so he wasn't even living with y'all. So I'm like, you never know what to believe.
Exactly. And that was like that. Like I said, that was my my favorite part. Even though that husband was horrible and
are any of the husbands good? They all are, especially if it's on home network. The husbands, you can't be on this network if you're a good husband. You got to be the worst.
I blame Carlos.
I can't even blame Carlos because I feel like when we were talking about it on the live yesterday, when I was talking about that Black Love show, I'm like, even these celebrity husbands is on here exposing themselves.
Yeah. But I think that's all behind like what we were talking about, like being brought up on struggle love. Like they think that it's like something to look forward to look up to. Like, oh, and we made it. Like, no, don't nobody want all of that. Nobody want all that struggling. It don't have to be, easy, but it shouldn't require this much effort.
Yeah,
for you to act like that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's just people just want to. It's like the Ready to Love game, but in real life. Like I made it to the end. Like, oh look. But we've been together for 20 long suffering years. Like been struggling together for 40 years.
Like we broke up. Like we broke up sophomore year in college, and then he met somebody else and had a baby, and then we got back together. Wait, what?
Right, every time. Hey, he broke up with the baby. We filed bankruptcy. He stole my money. He had a DURG habit. But we overcame it. Like these are not the trials and tribulations that I can. It's not my.
Not signing up for that. Yep, like Insecure.
Yeah, Miss Mermaid, I don't think you were on the live yesterday. If you gotta go back and see the live, but we was on that live for a minute. We talked about Insecure all the way at the end. But yes, what did Rox call him? Light Bill Lawrence, because people talking about they wanted Issa to spit that block. Like y'all forgot that he was a man Tyler Perry was telling us to be with that could only pay the light bill. Struggling.
When that last season came, I was hoping that they gave her, like I said, a new love interest. It didn't have to be like it could just be the starting stages. It didn't have to be marriage. It didn't have to be to completion. But that's what I thought we were going with Kofi. And
yeah, I thought so too. Why we brought Nate back when Nate should have never been? I don't think Nate should have ever even. Nate should have been a short-term fling. When he ghosted her, that should have been the end of it. Like we kept Nate too long. D said, "Oop, Aries' mom kind of got it going on. Yeah, she fine. That face was stuck during the entire exchange with Phil. Flim flam. Phil got to go. Keep watching. Yes, I like spinning the block. No, Miss Mermaid, this
for a reason.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I didn't want Issa to spin that block because she tried, and then somebody was pregnant. Like it's a sign. It's a sign. Let it go.
Ooh, and when she tossed that baby like a baby.
That's funny. And they were together for so many years, and it's like they didn't even have any kids. It's not like when we have kids and we broke up, and then you like y'all will not. His first child will never be your. I don't know. That's hard to overcome. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know.
It's nice to look at though.
Who?
Lawrence?
Issa did have all the fine men now. I mean, Nate, you know, I like Daniel. I like him. I like him dark now. That's what I like.
I'm a Daniel type of.
Yeah. Oh damn! Daniel's on the J Dub said he ain't want her. He ain't want her with Daniel. I like Daniel. To me, was the best because Daniel provided her shelter when she was out.
I don't want none of them. He did. He's handsome. I didn't want to do the struggle love. I'm like, give her something fresh, give her something healthy, new, refreshing. Can we do that?
You know, I feel like with Daniel, she was really the one causing the problems. You don't think so? I think Daniel did a lot for them they weren't even exclusive. And I'm like, he's sacrificing his home and everything to bring you. She didn't even have no job.
Oh, she's talking about Nathan.
Nathan ain't really.
Now you ready to like, comment and subscribe.
We've been going down the rabbit hole talking about Kofi and Daniel. She's talking about Nathan. Look, looks wise, I would have took Lawrence. Lawrence is tall. Issa's tall, so I like that. I'm hollering because I can totally see Shayna coming on the show. Plugging her YouTube channel. You might be ready to love, but you're not ready to like, comment, and subscribe. That sounds like an intro for Real Housewives. Somebody had came on there plugging their show. I think it was one of the girls on one of the Miami seasons. Saying she was like, girl, what's your day job? Yeah, Nathan, his eyes. He does have nice eyes.
Nice eyes, yeah.
He never did it when they first met. It just, I don't know. I never felt the chemistry. Like I want to make me believe that it's real, even if it's fake. I never felt it with them. I did like Molly Man, but she sank the shit.
Who, the one with the long hair?
Yeah, who, the Asian guy?
Yeah.
She did. Yeah, I don't know if they would. I liked him though. I liked her with him, but I like her husband, who she ended up with. I liked who she ended up with. I think that was a better fit for her.
And I think I agree with you. They should have gave her now that I think about it, they should have gave her a spinoff because they worked so hard to change her character arc at the end.
Right.
That they should have just. You had us. You worked us up to not being able to stand Molly, only to be able to give her some type of turnaround and then be like married.
Right. Molly. I don't know. I feel like I could. And Molly. That's why I like Insecure. This was more relatable because it's like she was going through something. That's why we couldn't stand her. But it's like, yeah, you're starting to get help. Because at first I loved Molly. Then it was like, oh, Molly, like, girl, you a bad friend. You bad. And we're like, girl, you just bad all around. Bad employee. Just
they was both bad friends at some point.
Yeah, They both was a little selfish. And they was able to kind
Yeah.
of work it out. But I felt like if they had it at the end, I feel like they shouldn't have rushed her storyline. Like they should have just had her dating her husband, gave her the spinoff, and let her get married. But if we gonna do it the way we did it, because that ending was just trash. I hated it. We could have still picked up with her being married with her husband. Because at first they hated each other and we got all the way to the point of marriage. Like now we're left with nothing. Yeah, the Asian guy, I forgot she got married at the end. Yeah, she really turned it around. And I mean, because he was like, I didn't see it for him at first. They say, he's sending her Uber Eats because she don't feel she's tired. She had a drama with her family, with her mom getting sick. So she had her own story.
She did. And what's the name that she was dating? Keke. Was that Keke Palmer's baby daddy's brother that she was dating that was married and that whole situation? Molly.
Oh,
Dro.
I think that was Dro Keke Palmer's brother. Keke Palmer.
I thought that was the boyfriend's, the baby daddy's brother. Ain't that his brother? It's not Sharon? In real life.
I don't know. They might be.
I think.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. Keke baby daddy, her brother, her baby daddy in real life. I was saying Keke Palmer got on the show. I was about to say, wait a minute.
No.
People.
In real life.
Yeah, Dro. Yeah, when she was messing with Dro, she was down bad. For sure, right? They could go ahead and shake up the host, production cast, and directors and crew while we're at it. Oh, for Ready to Love, and for any reality show, all of them. Like Dro is the baby daddy's brother. Yeah, in real life. Yep. They were saying that's why Keke Palmer's baby daddy act like that because his brother is Dro. He got one of the cast members pregnant. I said, not him being a dog on the show and a clown in real life. Oh Lord.
She back with him now.
Right. He used to really be hanging with Dro in real life too. Like, why? I guess one of these people. But I don't know. They could have went so many different ways. It should have went different ways. They said they had different outcomes. And I don't know. I just don't know why they picked. Because I feel like it was like, oh, well, Issa just really wanted to be with Lawrence. Like, no, because y'all pushing this.
The fans want it. I think the fans want, like on your live, I think the fans just always wanted her to be back with him. And I was like, I guess.
I did at first. Like when they broke up and then they went to, what's that big, Coachella, when they went to Coachella and she bumped into him in the gas station and then we saw him again. I was like, yes, I want them back together again. But then when he came back in the picture, like I was like, never mind. I don't. When he moved and finally got a job and went to San Francisco, like it's too much going on. Never mind, get him out of here. And she had a point, like them breaking up was more realistic. Like you don't go and talk to your ex and they always a part of your life and you constantly bumping into them. When I get out of relationships, I don't see these fools no more. Like unless I plan to see you, I don't see you.
Well, they were supposed to have like this similar friend group, I guess was the issue with them, but we'd have had to take alternating schedules sometimes.
Right.
I'll be around you sometimes, just not all the time.
It's like, oh hey. Like once he had a whole nother girlfriend and that should have been into that.
Nobody, Bill.
No,
not nobody. Sorry, I answered that incorrectly.
I'm in my Uber Chafi hurt like hell. Who got voted off this week? Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. Because it's a
you want us to.
Yeah. Who made the decision? Aries. We'll give y'all a quick recap. I think Dee's still watching it. Aries, Pick Herself. Marie and Jessica chose each other. Janelle and Q chose each other. You didn't get why? Oh, wait, I don't forgot Portia. What you talking about? Daniel deserved. They did my boy dirty. Played him to the left for Dusty, Tyra, and Late Nate. Yes, thank you, D. Why and I knew because I was hoping like maybe Daniel will come back. But when Issa got her apartment and she was like the landlord or whatever, and then Molly said she was like, bye, Daniel. I said, oh, it's final. The way she told him bye, like, oh my heart. It's final. He ain't coming back. My man. TV. I know the dogs are howling. Can I get a woof woof? Stop it, B.
Yes, thank God.
Aries shows herself. It was kind of, I don't know, it was like kind of messed up. Because Phil went and got her that heartfelt gift. Like, I got it with the heart stitched on it in honor of your dad. Like, yeah, I'm picking me. Like, damn.
He was like, "That's cute, but no, thank you."
She's like, thanks for the gift. Like, oh, I'm gonna take it, but you can get gone.
That's okay. We needed that Aries energy. It's the same way she gave Chris that little
yeah,
woo woo woo.
right.
Woo.
Oh, what's the shame?
Thanks for the baseball.
Nice knowing you.
Wow. Got a blast.
Life. Like, Lord, shame.
Because he could have solved all of that by speaking up. He didn't want to speak up. But that's because he ain't doing nothing.
If you would have told the truth and been like, I'm in between jobs, I mean, it would have been the same outcome.
He would have been a no. But at least he would have been honest.
I don't know. I feel like, I mean, him not exposing himself exposed himself. It's like, what do you work for the FBI? Like, what's the secret? Tell us. Just tell us you don't got no job.
You wish.
I don't know, because Herbert went on an interview, because you know all of them going on interviews. Oof. And then he spoke up on his behalf and was like, no, Phil got a good job and he lived in like the expensive suburbs of Houston. Like, so you say, that's what you say. But I mean, unless I see something going on, like with his name on some stuff and see him clocking in every day for work, I don't believe it. We'll see what they say in the reunion. Unless he got a job after the reunion was already filmed, because it was filmed so long ago.
Look.
Feel like he living in an expensive suburb, right? Because I'm like, he's like, oh, he got a house in wherever it's at. Like, so you know he got money. Like, so you say. So you
Shoot,
say.
every place is freaking expensive now.
Right, yeah. Even living in the projects is expensive. Child, Kira was questioning if he had a job too. Everybody ain't lying. Right. At first he was like, girl, Kira, hush. But now it's like Kira was on to something.
I guess that's why they let us see it.
Kira
He's giving her the side eye, like, girl.
Right.
Is that a problem? Is that a thing? Does it happen often? Like you're not working?
Right. Because I'm thinking like, okay. I mean,
girl, chill out.
I lost my job last year, so I mean it happens. But then it's like if it's a constant thing,
yeah,
going around quitting jobs like that at this big grown age, like okay, well, yeah, I would be concerned too. Especially like I say, because Aries got boys, and I can't have you around my sons with this type of behavior. Belle out here on the scene right as Aries comes up. I got the side eye for you, ma'am. You've been coming for me this whole week. Okay, y'all have a sidebar. You know, they like DD good for having sidebar with Belle.
Brother and sister.
Right, like, let me just put this back up. Change the comment. But yeah, but we did good. We went on for 2 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, we
I was gonna say we have about 30-40 minutes.
Right. I could talk about Insecure some more, to be honest. I could have talked about Insecure the whole time and not talked about this episode at all. But I mean, we did the best we could with what we had, y'all. See?
Bill.
I know, him and Bill. They up here watching the live, chatting with us in the comments. But so we gonna any last words before we go?
No, ma'am. Looking forward to the reunion. Hoping they're giving us a little something. We get some type of answers or drama or something.
Something. Very much something.
Something.
But are you having the live this Sunday, or you're not having one till the next Saturday?
I'm gonna try and do a movie this Sunday live. And I'm not sure about Love is Blind.
Yes.
We'll go with the movie.
Yeah,
We'll do the movie on Sunday. I'm trying to do it. I don't know, earlier in the day. Not at the same slot you're going.
I was gonna say now that was like, yeah, a heavy mean side eye, like not when I'm doing my baby boy live.
No,
Because you know
it would either be way before or after. Probably before.
The way we was talking about that last night, we gotta be ready for the baby boy live.
No, because I'm gonna come through. I wish I had my stuff together to do it tomorrow. So, but
I feel like that's good though to put it out and give enough time for people to know.
Yeah, because I'm horrible with that, and then I'll be like, "It's me in here."
Yeah, because I just did that live I did yesterday. I didn't say nothing about it till like that morning, and Misha was like, "I didn't even know you had a live." I'm like, impromptu. But
sometimes I schedule them and then forget to say anything. I'm like, I gotta try and do like the day before, the day of. I try to put it on social media, but it's just like,
I know. Even with the panel, I try to say it like, at least like on a by Wednesday, give like a 2-day notice. But I knew this episode was just whatever. So I was like,
Belle said the reunion is on her page next week. She wants everybody to know.
Yes. We talking about we doing next. Belle telling us from the chat. It's gonna be on her channel next week over there on the Belle Perspective TV. It'll be in our community tabs. I think for the most part, except for D, he don't post nothing. D ain't showing up. D at the D.
He is booked and busy. Okay, he will be back in a minute.
Okay. We'll post. It'll be over. So that should be good. So, and then I don't know. Maybe we'll have a special guest, as we were talking about that before. So we'll chat. So we'll have a special. Might have a special guest. Spice it up, make it real interesting. Portia said something. They didn't give us nothing all season. I'm at the point where I want to see Nuck a few buckets Tequila. Right. I'm like, Tequila got her hair pushed back, her feathers on for protection. She was ready. She had her helmet of salvation pushed to the back. Her feathers on, fluffy, ready to take some blows. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind. I'm like, move the security out the way. Let them fight. Let them fight. Give us some. Just let them
fight. Let them fight. Was that making the band? Let them fight.
It'd be like when kids is fighting, and it'd be like, they ain't never gonna get over this until they just fight. Like they just gotta fight it out. Just let them fight. Just real quick, and then break it up.
Because ain't nothing for the two of them to really be arguing about. But we here for it. We gonna watch.
Tequila said she know the inside scoop of stuff. Like, girl, you've been gone for how long? I mean, I feel like if you got kicked off that early, you shouldn't even be on the reunion. Because what are you even here to say? Like, but that's why she backstage shaking the table.
Her and they got freaking Sneaky Habibi on there too. So there's that.
Yeah.
He shouldn't really have nothing to say, but
yeah. I feel like he should, just be sitting in the back giving commentary on what's happening but since the season was so lackluster, I mean, I guess we need everybody to.
Yeah, they're trying to give us some drama.
Yeah, come to the front, speak on it, speak your piece. Let us know if anybody has anything to give, anything of value, so we can have a 2-part reunion. Please come to the front. Otherwise, they can wrap this up in 1 part.
Probably could have.
They always got to stretch it out for at least 2 parts minimum. At least.
Wow. Like Roja with them 2 parts, which was like it really was an hour and 20 minutes because the rest of it was just Drew and Ralph, and we could have skipped all of that.
Really, you think so? Because I feel like Drew and Ralph was the only ones that. Besides
we needed about a 5-10 minutes of that. We didn't need no 20-30 you singing, and then it's too much.
When she busted the song, I was like, like okay.
Travis.
Not that part. Yeah, we're gonna need Travis Habibi and Taekwondo. Not Taekwondo, but she ready to use some Taekwondo in the back. They got to clock in. Taekwondo is clocking in. TNT.
Work.
I don't know if Habibi gonna be doing it. I'm sure he gonna have something to say. We gonna have and Sassy Red gonna be there. They let all the sassy characters go too soon. Usually they be trying to keep them a little longer. They let them go like right in the beginning, and then we had to suffer through the rest. But I think Taekwondo gonna give us a little something. I don't know. That fight scene probably gonna be all of 5 minutes, but it's something.
If that.
And they're gonna be breaking it up, kicks Akila out because why is she there? She probably gonna
be like, all right, we'll be back now and have a commercial break. Then it's gonna be like, what? And come back and be like, yeah, anyway, moving along. Wait, what just happened?
I'm like, what are y'all? I know they don't see for each other, but why?
Because they're the same person. That energy is similar.
Yeah, that's true. It's like either y'all gonna really get along and be tight or not at all. I guess it can only be one mean girl to lead the pack. Can't have two.
Oh.
And see, we didn't know at first when Taekwondo was just gonna never calling her Taekwondo. When Taekwondo was up there saying all that stuff, we thought Janelle was innocent. Had we known then what we know now.
Exactly. She knew. She's like, I see you for your works.
Right. See, we wasn't listening to her, Kira, none of them.
Nope. We was over. I think it was over it pretty early. It was over it pretty early.
This the first season of Ready to Love. This and that one that Joy and Clifton was on, that one was pretty dry too. But this fight was a worse season. They got so much. This cast got the most to say behind the scenes, and this was the worst season. Like y'all got a little too much to say for this season to be lackluster.
Okay. Okay. Bring all the sassies back.
But, okay, so y'all know we already talked about it all up and through. Like we'll be over there on my live this Sunday. I think is it at 8 or was it 8 or 8:30? I keep forgetting. Look real
Check
quick.
the community tab. Turn on your notifications.
Check the community tab. I didn't mess around. I show up at 8:30 and it was I scheduled it for 8, so we're gonna be there at 8. Don't be late. Talk about this Struggle Love throwback movie review, Baby Boy. It's gonna be a good time. Struggle Love movie
I'm
review.
sorry, that's not for you. That's for your panel members.
I love some Mariah Huck though. But yeah, so we'll be over there this Sunday. Check your community tab for Miss Kira Speaks when she drops her movie review live as well. Show up in the chat. Belle is gonna be on her channel next week. He should be there as well. So we'll be back. The panel will be back next week.
We'll be back.
All right. But if there's nothing else going on, y'all have a good rest of y'all night.
Good
night.
6-6. The way I'm winning, I might have to cut it now.